subscriptions. Gen Z spends the most, $178. Erin Turner at the Consumer Policy Research Centre says more people are finding it difficult to cancel their subscriptions.
But when it comes time for you to turn off the tab, to stop subscribing, they put up barriers after barriers.
Whyalla police are investigating after 2 cars were set alight in Whyalla Stewart late yesterday. Police and fire crews called to a house in Nicol Street at 6 p.m. A Holden and Jeep were on fire in the backyard. When patrols and the MFS arrived, the blaze spread to nearby guttering. Firefighters extinguished the blaze, which destroyed the cars and caused minor damage to the outside of the house. A person inside had to be treated for smoke inhalation. A new survey shows most Aussie parents want flexibility when it comes to childcare. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Polling firm Spectre Strategy has found that more than a quarter of parents who use childcare believe the system has some serious structural problems. News Corp says about a quarter believe the current childcare system is working well. The research was commissioned by Childcare Choice, which is pushing for flexible care arrangements to suit each family's situation. They argue that centre-based care is important, but should be one option among many and not the default.
At least 100 deaths have now been reported as a result of the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The number of cases in the country has climbed close to 400. At least 2 cases and 1 death have been detected in Uganda. And a US jury has taken less than 2 hours to dismiss Elon Musk's lawsuit against artificial intelligence company OpenAI. The world's richest man alleged the company had strayed from its original mission to benefit humanity. Turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Matty. Adelaide's players will have their main session of the week around lunchtime today as they prepare for Thursday night's huge clash against Hawthorn at the MCG. The Crows have some big decisions to make on several players, including Riley Thilthorpe, Taylor Walker and Callum Archie. Meantime, Essendon great Matthew Lloyd concedes it might be time for Zach Merritt to leave the Bombers. The 30-year-old midfielder failed in his attempted move to Hawthorn last year and has since changed management group. The legendary goal kicker telling Footy Classified it could be beneficial for both parties if Merritt goes.
I think it's best for both club and player, and that they would have both done their best at the end of last year to say, OK, we're not going to let you go, and would have hoped that things could have been that he finished his career at the club. But all he wants now is to play in a successful side.
To soccer, Arsenal's inching closer to a first English Premier League title in 22 years as they look to maintain their advantage at the top of the table. The Gunners currently lead Burnley 1-0, the only goal of the game coming about 10 minutes before half-time. Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. There's about 20 minutes to play in that contest. It is still 1-0. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Go the Gunners. Thank you, Tom. Now, Adelaide's weather: showers 18, a shower or two 19, partly cloudy on Thursday and 20, same for Friday 19. Currently it's 14. FIVEAA, always Adelaide.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Bob Jane T-Mart's Price Buster sale is now on, with thousands of tyres and wheels discounted. Buy 3 selected Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumho, J-Trax or Hankook tyres and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on selected tyres, plus up to 40% off selected Monster alloy wheels. No one beats our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Mart's, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
At Coles, you can save with a crunch. Right now, get half price on Smith's Crinkle Cut potato chips, 150 gram to 170 gram. Now just $2.50. Save in-store or online. At Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
Hi, Brady Bitt here for Mawson Lakes Mazda with a little secret of how you can get behind the wheel of a new Mazda. You can unlock their end of financial year deals early. You heard right, we can give them to you right now. That's immediate delivery on all makes, models and colours. Plus low-K demos must go. No gimmicks, just early end of financial year deals and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
You don't just cook a barbie, you command it. You're head of the grill, keeper of the flame, sovereign of the snag, which is exactly why your kingdom deserves an Adelaide outdoor kitchen. Choose the best appliances at a bar fridge, a pizza oven, or make jaws drop with a custom-made concrete benchtop designed as a statement piece.
My kingdom for a snag. Indoor benchtops too, handmade, one of a kind, nothing off the shelf. Every piece crafted just for you, and no two slabs are ever the same. Experience the Wow Factor range in person at the Seaford Meadows showroom on Farrow Circuit, or contact Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens for more information.
Serious hosts have serious kitchens. Build yours with Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Visit adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
First time caller, long time listener.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's FIVEAA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
8 after 6, good morning to you. Welcome to Tuesday on FIVEAA Breakfast. It is the 19th of May. We'll be talking road safety a bit this morning. It is National Road Safety Week, but also we'll be hearing from the Chief Public Health Officer, Nicola Spura, who had her own run-in with the traffic that she said in the moment she thought might be her last moment. She'll tell her story on FIVEAA Breakfast after 8:30 today. I'll be chatting with Mahalia Barnes. The Cabaret Festival is coming and she will be performing. Also on the program, Phil Curry on federal politics. We'll have our trial by jury. And, of course, yesterday we had our very first, the opening match, the opening fixture of the FIVEAA Breakfast World Cup of South Australia. It was in the food quadrant of the bracket in which Cooper's Pale Ale absolutely destroyed the frog cake. Today, will it be a person? Will it be places doing battle? Or will it be random South Australian things? You can cast your vote after 8 o'clock today and make sure your favourite proceeds through to the next round. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Will. The thing that excites me about this competition so much is that, competitions have a certain lifespan. They all have to come to an end. This, as per the World Cup of Suburbs, takes longer than usual because it's a full sort of, how many are there? 30
Yeah, it's 32.
32 entrants, so it takes a while to get through them all. But what it means is that when they finish, the World Cup will be well and truly on.
Absolutely, it will be. Yeah, in fact, it will have been going for nearly 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks, 2 full weeks by the time
we'll be up to the end of the group stage.
Yeah, you've really studied the fixture. I'm not across what all the dates are.
I go full nerdlinger on the World Cup. I always go to the newsagent and buy the SBS World Cup guide, and I get my text.
So is that out, or is that not out yet?
Actually, I haven't checked yet. I think it would be out. It's always a good read, but I've kept all of them going back to 1990. USA, 1990? Or was it Italy? No, it was USA World Cup 1990. No, it wasn't. It was Italy 1990, USA 94.
That's right. Yeah, France 98. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I've got all of them in my study, all filled in. I'll get my pen. And
like the old footy budget.
Yeah, totally.
Just once every 4 years.
You can find it a very therapeutic thing.
Our listeners could follow along and jump on our social media because we have our bracket. It's printable. It'll probably use a lot of ink. It looks fantastic. But you can follow along to see what is up against what or who is up against what. Look, it's hard to work out which category everything is in, but you can follow along on social media.
It's parochialism on steroids as well. Like we like competitions that would be utterly incomprehensible to anybody from, say, Sydney or Echuca.
Oh, completely.
Where we go, what are these two drungos talking about?
Yeah. Why?
And what are their listeners talking about?
Why are they voting on what's better out of Francis Adamson in a double cut roll?
Yeah.
Well,
that's a conversation that's been waiting to be had.
Well, it could potentially happen in the quarterfinal, I believe. You can follow the bracket. You can see all the potential matchups.
I reckon I would compare Her Excellency the Governor and a double cup roll to Germany and Argentina.
Oh, it's two heavyweights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beloved icons of South Australia. Speaking of South Australia, did you hear this yesterday? The Prime Minister was in town.
Harry and Erin have benefited from the Housing Australia Future Fund. They live just up the road here in Bowden.
In Bowden. Bowden. Right next to Brompton.
Or Southwark. The new suburb of Southwark.
When do you know someone's from not around here? 82230000 or text us on 0480081395. What's a dead giveaway? Pronunciations are always key, but there are certain other behavioural traits that'll do you in as from not being from South Australia, whilst we're being particularly parochial this morning.
Why didn't Albo come on our show? Was it something we said?
I think he'd done his dasher on that one the week earlier.
Well, I didn't think we were over the top, were we?
No.
I mean, everyone in Australia was saying, hang on a minute, this is new, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where's all this come from?
Trying to make sense of the whole thing.
Yeah. It was a bit of a under-the-radar visit.
Yeah, it was
to Bowden.
What do they call it? It's a Bowden. A pick fac.
It was a pick fac. I.e., no questions.
Yeah, that's right. I was there to take a photo.
Yep.
Well, no, to be honest, they did a press conference, to be fair to them.
And were they two of the most heavily vetted homeowners in the history of media engagement?
I suspect that. I don't know what their affiliations were, if they had any.
One of them's actually his nephew. But anyway, I tell you what, poor old Nicola Spurrier, for someone who's sort of was pilloried a bit during the whole COVID shenanigans for being a bit of a nanny stater, she's up for taking risks and quite clearly on her treadly almost did herself a terrible...
Went over the bonnet, in her words.
That's scary. That's really scary.
That's a serious crash.
Do you ever have a bad crash on a bike as a youngster?
No, nothing. No, I wasn't a big rider, but no, nothing serious like that. Nothing. Once you get a car involved, that's really scary. The margin for error becomes nothing. How about you? You have a bad one?
I had one pretty bad one that could have been way worse. I was riding on the back streets between Goodwood Road and South Road, riding back to Mitchell Park, and I was near Castle Plaza, and I cut through a servo that was on the corner of South Road, and it was at night time. Oh, no, it was just at dusk. The servo was closed, but they had one of those hanging loop chains down there to stop people from entering and exiting.
And when you didn't see it?
No, and I rode straight over it. I was going flat out, and it wrapped around my pedals, and I went, pew!
Oh, no.
And I landed on South Road.
Far out. Did you do serious damage?
There were no cars. South Road.
It was meant to be. That's divine intervention.
Oh, here we go. No, I'm just going to walk the earth. It's like a Johnny Cash song.
82230000. I like this one on
Can I just say, I wanted to say this for since 1983 when it happened. Up yours, Hungry Jack's Castle Plaza.
What? Hey, where's this come from?
I've finally got it off my chest.
Well, it's only been 42 years, 43 years. What's happened?
This is what's known in Albania.
Oh, I see. You're saying about the chain.
Leck.
Yeah.
The law of Leck, where you can harbour a grudge for decades and it can eventually come out. So I'm covered in blood, cut my face, cut my knees, cut my hand. I went and knocked on their door and said, I've just had a bicycle accident. I need to call my parents. And they said, customers aren't allowed to use the phone.
You're kidding.
I mean, probably not the same manager still.
But in case it is.
Yeah. Oh, that felt good.
You're unburdened. Hey, Joe in Evanston, how do you know someone's not from around here?
When they call Theberton the Barton.
Yeah, that's the number one. That's the litmus test of your South Australian credentials, because I think we've received about 17 texts suggesting the same thing. Thank you, Joe.
I reckon this is a good one. You can tell someone who's not from around here the way they order a beer at the pub and they don't know what sizes to ask for.
If that is just a wonderful, wonderful text. How did we standardise the rail gauge and not beer sizing in this country?
Funny, isn't it? So Sydney, the schooner, is the pint.
Yes.
If you ask for a pint,
you get an
Sydney,
Imperial,
you
don't
get
you?
600 mils.
Yeah.
And
Were they a butchers?
And the
Ponies?
schooner there is a midi. A midi.
A midi is the smaller size. Yeah. Because I remember having a friend from New South Wales coming going,
Middies
should we
and
go get a
squeeze.
couple of scowies? And I'm thinking,
Skewies. They say skewies.
what?
Oh, yeah, skewies.
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard that, I'm thinking, okay, what is this? What kind of event are we going to?
Yeah, if you say that in Adelaide, it's like...
I went to pull up, he's already up.
What?
Oh, Adrian and Yankalilla, good morning.
G'day, boys. How you going?
Good, Adrian.
Yeah, I heard that story about you on the Treadley there, David. I had something similar. So I grew up in Carricalinga, and I don't know if you guys know the Good Fork Tree Brewery up there on the hill.
No, I don't know it. Sorry, mate.
So Fork Tree Hill runs up the back of Carricalinga, and it's a huge hill. We used to get a mate to take us up on our bikes.
Yeah, right.
All the way to the top and then come down and see what speed we could do.
Oh, really?
The tour down under used to go down there. Now, I was on my brother's bike because mine was no good. It was an old Road King that had a snap frame. But do you remember the stack hat? I had a bright yellow one. It was the worst helmet ever, so I used to wear it backwards because I thought if I'm going to look stupid, I might as well look really stupid. And had no strap, and I came down there. I think the quickest I ever did was like 86 kilometres an hour, and I hit the bottom corner, which I took wide, and my mate was in front of me down. I said, get out of the way, and he couldn't hear me, so I just went to go around him on the dirt, and then he moved. And I would have hit him at about 60 or 70 kilometres an hour, went flying over the handlebars, rolled about 10 times, helmet came off straight away, ended up on my feet, and I had like a small scratch on my shoulder where I hit the dirt, and that was it.
Oh,
and
wow.
I should not have been here. The speed that I was going, what I hit, the helmet didn't do anything. And
you ended up on your feet with just a scratch.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. You should have been a stuntman, Adrian. You're in the wrong business. Good on you, mate.
Amazing.
Let's go to Sally in Hillcrest. Sally, good morning.
Good morning. I've got two. One, when you say, do you want some Fritz, and they're expecting Devon.
Yep.
And the other one, and this one irritates me a lot, when you go to the pub and they say, can I have a Palmer?
Oh, the Palmer.
Palmer. Pardon me?
Yes, that's a good one, Sally. That is a couple of good signs that someone's not from around here. Plenty of good texts coming through as well. We'll get to some more of those in just a moment. Tommy Wren, not too far away. We'll have a look at the weather. A little bit of rain about the place overnight. That's all ahead, 19 after 6.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide. And if you're like me and you love a good bargain from your local chemist, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
Not every conversation stays with you. This one will. Join Stephen Bartlett as he asks the questions and nothing is left unsaid. Search The Diary of a CEO wherever you get your podcasts.
Is it big enough, Stephen?
What?
I said, is it big enough, the truck?
Oh, yeah, this will do. This is huge.
So why are we moving all your fishing rods and nets out of the shed?
Well, I may have lowballed the number of rods and gear I have to the wifey, but I need a stealthy little clear-out that's required, Timmy.
And if she finds out?
I'll be booted out and I'm with you.
Beauty. I'll grab me golf clubs.
You're not having them.
Got something big to budge? Budget with a budget rental truck. Call 13 27 27.
We love to see you CMI.
The next generation Hilux is in stock right now at CMI Toyota, SA's #1 selling Toyota dealer. Come and experience the Hilux range for yourself, including SR, SR5 and Workmate, with selected models available for immediate delivery. View the range at cmitoyota.com.au or visit CMI Toyota today.
We love to see you smiling.
Oh, what a feeling, Toyota.
Did you know that we have a little bit of the Netherlands right here in SA? If you're wondering where, it's the Dutch Pantry in Clemzig, of course. It's like a little Dutch village where you'll find authentic Dutch products, fresh produce, baked cakes, and a whole menu of delicious Dutch meals and drinks in their cafe for brekkie, brunch or lunch.
Imagine savouring classics like croquettes, yum, or mini Dutch pancakes, and a new Dutch soup every week in the cafe, or you can also get it frozen in the egg shop. And how's this? Recently, they've introduced a menu of great Dutch beers, including La Trappe Blonde, made within a Trappist monastery, supervised by monks who work in silence. and the profits from the beers support charities in Holland, so you're doing a good deed when you have one. A perfect menu for the perfect day out.
And while you're there, take a stroll past the windmill, admire the tulips, and take a look at the exquisite Delft Blue. Experience the taste of the Netherlands at the Dutch Pantry, located on OG Road, Clemzig. Just look for the big windmill.
A full bottle of LPG? That's useful. 3 bottles? Even more useful. Your first 3 bottles of LPG for $99 each with delivery from Origin? That's all kinds of useful. Sign up by 30 September, only in selected areas. Equipment fee and T's and C supply.
Is your outdoor area living up to its potential? If not, speak to Luba House and transform your outdoor area with an opening and closing roof that's ready for next summer. An SA family-owned business, Luba House do everything. Planning, design, council approvals, local manufacturing and installation, so you'll have peace of mind it's done right. Don't wait any longer. Find out more with a free design, measure and quote. Bring your outdoor area to life with Luba House. luvahouse.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
23 minutes after 6, Tom Wren in just a moment. This week is National Road Safety Week. The Get Home Safely Foundation's Darren Davis joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Darren, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys.
What's the focus for this this Road Safety Week, Darren?
Well, there's a different focus every day, but I guess if we're going to override the whole week, it's all about everyone reading their driving. Our crash stats are absolutely shocking across Australia, and this week is a really good time to get everyone to sit down, take a breath, think about what they do on the road, and just make sure that we're looking after each other out there, because we're not doing well enough.
Yeah, well, so many of the deaths. Well, I mean, I've heard police say all deaths on the road, if you want to be really strict about it, are avoidable, but many of them are completely avoidable. Speed, using your phones, all the distractions that we know about, Darren?
Absolutely right. And, you know, historically people have called these incidents accidents. They're not accidents. Accidents means that it's something that couldn't be prevented. These mainly are all preventable, just driver behaviours, everyone just trying to make they're getting somewhere as quickly as they can and not paying enough attention. And we've just got to keep space around us. We've got to take our time and understand that when we're on the road, everyone, including us, are so vulnerable. And our families want us to get home safe every single day, and there should be no exception to that.
One thing, Darren, I as the father of 4 kids, 2 of whom are now, you know, one's off her P's, one's still on his P's. You sort of get, I think every parent worries about their children, but I actually think when I've been in the car with the kids, they sometimes seem to drive better than I do as an adult. Do you think that older drivers need to maybe have a bit of a rethink and a refresh about how they approach driving? Because we can get a bit too casual because we just do it, so we've been doing it for so long that we feel like it's just, you know, not really as big a deal as you do when you've only had a year's experience.
Yeah, it's such a good point, and we do. Everyone just becomes very complacent with what they're doing on the road because it's such a natural thing after a long time doing it every day. So we've got to make sure that, yeah, look, something that everyone could do out there is when birthdays, Christmases are coming up, a really fantastic present could be an on-road advanced or defensive driving lesson with a driving instructor, just to make sure that all of our loved ones are getting upskilled every few years. It's such a valuable thing to actually have a look at what we do know and what we don't know as drivers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well said, Darren, and good luck for the week ahead. Darren Davis, the president of the Get Home Safe Foundation.
14.9 degrees outside at the moment. It's not going to get all that much warmer. 18 the expected maximum today, 0 to 3 millimetres of rain. I woke up in the night and it was raining at our place, so we'll ask the Bureau whether the rain's been and gone or whether there's any more on the way. There is some drizzle around the place for the next over the course of the next week. A little bit tomorrow, up to 2 millimetres of rain at a top of 19. Thursday, a top of 20 and dry. Dry 2 for Friday, at top of 19. Top of 19, in fact, every day on the forecast. Saturday, we'll have up to 1 millimetre of rain, up to 3 on Sunday and up to 2 on Monday. So again, drizzly, 19 degrees sort of days with minimums around 11. It's not wintry, but it's it's a good May in Adelaide sort of a week.
Yeah.
So that's what is ahead. Let's have a look at what's happening sport-wise. Tom Wren's with us. There's been a huge price drop on the new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. How about that? Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Morning, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Fellas, we're only in round 10, and I know that there's a lot of time until we get into the official trade period, etc., but a lot of talk already, and we had a lot of talk about this guy last year, Zach Merritt, and just a few... Well, it's looking increasingly unlikely he'll stay. I think the new president came in last year, Andrew Welsh, and they sort of thought, we've got to hold him and, make a stand, draw a line in the sand, so to speak. But
they're like doomed marriages, these things, where, you have the you start going to the counselling, then you get back together for a while. There was a really good stat that told that story last night on your network, Tom, Channel 9. Petrarca, Oliver... who else were there? But the pattern is try to get out for 1 year and then stay, and then in the second year, you're out.
And it's got to be said, Petrarca and Oliver, since they've left, it's probably worked for all parties, hasn't it?
Certainly hasn't hurt Melbourne.
Hasn't hurt Melbourne. Petrarca's going pretty well at Gold Coast. Oliver's playing much better footy, albeit GWS aren't going brilliantly, but he's going so much better, but it's definitely working for Melbourne. But the reason I say it is there is a bit of talk out there, and there'll be a lot of rumours that Zach Merritt, if he leaves, it'll be to a non-Victorian club, and Adelaide would be a perfect fit.
In the Adelaide Crows. Oh, yeah. He goes into that midfield.
He is their number one midfielder.
Is. How old is he now?
30. 260 games. He's probably got, 3 years left?
Yeah.
And I think for him, getting away from the Melbourne bubble, because it's so intense for him what happened.
Well, hasn't his wife been dragged into it? And she did that thing at Gimlet, the nightclub?
He's had to change management companies because, he clearly wanted out. It didn't work. It was pretty embarrassing for him, I think, having to go back.
Well, the media's way more polite and less intrusive here in Adelaide.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. I agree, but I think the perception is that it's a lot harsher over here. That's the perception.
Well, there's more focus on each individual player here.
Yes.
I think it's less... Yeah, I think it's less rude.
Yeah, I think
you're more in focus at all times.
That's right.
The footy part of it is in focus. The personal life part of it's not in focus. Like over them, part of this is their own silly fault, living their lives on Instagram, these people. But, it seems to be much more of a media thing, private lives, where the players' girlfriends are eating and drinking and partying. You don't see that happening with Crows and Port players and their partners here.
Yeah,
really?
But then we don't live in that world, do we, of, influences and so forth. Well, maybe they're doing it and we're just blithely ignorant to it.
Yeah,
but you're right, it doesn't make it to the papers, to your point.
No.
Yeah.
Feels like less of a thing.
He'd be a free agent, wouldn't he? Wouldn't require any sort of exchange of...
He'd be a free agent. Yeah, have to be, wouldn't he?
Given worth a flyer.
Oh, I think I hope they'd be making the call because, how long have we all been saying it? Crows need to boost that midfield, add some depth.
The funny thing about windows in sport to win championships or premierships, they're never as long as you think they're going to be.
Yeah.
You kind of got to strike while the iron's hot.
Totally.
So,
yeah,
I don't mind it, Rennie.
Yeah, so look, watch this space. It'll be fascinating. And Arsenal, I think this morning, have just gone and won 1-0, so they're one game away. They are one game away from breaking their 22-year title drought.
Excellent.
Good stuff. Good on you, Rennie.
Good on you, boys.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers at 18 today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre.
Police are investigating after a man was injured in a shooting at Christie Downs overnight. They were called to a home on Nadia Crescent about 1:45 this morning. The man sustaining a gunshot wound to his leg. The 27-year-old from Evanston was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police seizing a homemade pen gun from the address. The investigation continues. A man's been charged with murdering a woman and 2 boys at a home in Sydney southwest, arrested at the scene after police were called to what has been described as a particularly violent scene at Campbelltown. The man in his 40s now facing 3 counts of domestic violence murder. New South Wales Acting Superintendent Michael Moroney says at this stage there's nothing to suggest prior interactions with police.
It appears to be not something that we had on our radar in terms of being known to police. case, but I can reassure the public that domestic violence is a number one priority for the New South Wales Police.
A damning report has exposed allegations a former high-ranking Border Force official leaked classified intelligence about illegal tobacco smuggling techniques. The anti-corruption watchdog's inquiry into the man's activities found he provided information to a business associated in the tobacco sector. With South Australia's road toll climbing to 44 this year, there's another plea for us all to take our time on the road. It is National Road Safety Week, and Get Home Safely Foundation's Darren Davis says every crash is avoidable.
Historically, people have called these incidents accidents. They're not accidents. Accidents means that it's something that couldn't be prevented. These mainly are all preventable. Just driver behaviours, everyone just trying to make they're getting somewhere as quickly as they can and not paying enough attention.
An emergency use permit has been granted to South Australian farmers to help them protect the state's agricultural sector from mice. The Pesticide and Vet Medicines Authority has granted an emergency use application allowing grain producers to access double-strength zinc phosphide mouse bait. It'll allow grain producers in areas hit by mice to better control the rodents damaging crops after farmers raised concern the currently approved zinc phosphide product was less effective at controlling the high numbers of mice. Police in the US say the threat has been neutralised after an active shooter situation at a mosque in San Diego. At least one person is understood to have been killed. Emergency services remain at the scene. Australia's involvement in World War II has been commemorated in a new 3-coin set from the Royal Australian Mint. The coloured 20-cent pieces will honour soldiers who fought across the Mediterranean and North Africa in 1941. The Royal Australian Mint Stuart Baines says it was a pivotal year in the nation's war effort.
This is where we sort of saw our first action in the Mediterranean, in Greece, in Crete, across the North African coast. So it's remembering all of those different men and women who served in different ways across those conflicts.
A fresh Resolve poll shows the 2026 federal budget received the lowest overall good score from voters in 5 years. Fewer than a quarter of Australians agreed the policies would benefit their household. 35% thought it'll leave them worse off. The poll coming as reports surface about disquiet in Labor ranks about the extent of the capital gains tax about face, particularly over productivity. Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And some trading potentially in the AFL, Tom Wren.
Well, yeah, it's all starting to bubble up again already, isn't it, Matty? And we're only into round 10. Zach Merritt could again be wanting out of Essendon as Brad Scott's Bombers face a crucial month ahead. Eddie Summerfield reports.
After a failed move to Hawthorn last year, Zach Merritt could again be wanting to leave at season's end. The proposition put to Essendon legend Matthew Lloyd on Footy Classified.
I think it's best for both club and player.
The Bombers will be without Peter Wright for Friday night's Dreamtime clash against Richmond. The Ruck suffering a knee ligament injury in the loss to Fremantle. Essendon facing the other bottom clubs over the next 3 weeks. A crucial time for coach Brad Scott, who was on Fox Footy last night.
I don't think any coach can accept a lack of commitment to the contest because that doesn't require any talent.
Meantime, the Crows will train today as they prepare for Thursday night's big game against Hawthorn in Tasmania. Let's go to soccer. Arsenal has just won its English Premier League game against Burnley 1-0 at home. It means the Gunners are now 5 points clear of Manchester City. City has 2 games left to play this season. Arsenal has just the one, but if they win it, they will be champions for the first time in 22 years. Aussie tennis star Alex de Minaur opened his Hamburg campaign with a comeback win over Francisco Cerundolo, booking his place in the round of 16. And Travis Head's Sunrisers Hyderabad have recorded a 5-wicket win against the Chennai Super Kings to cement third spot on the IPL table. Head only made 6, but chasing 181, his side got there with an over to spare. Pat Cummins taking 3 wickets. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now 5AA's forecast. Showers 18 today, a shower or two. 19 tomorrow, partly cloudy Thursday and 20. Same for Friday, 19. Currently it's 15. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Of course, the Barossa is famous for its wine, its food and egg noodles.
Absolutely. For over 90 years, Reacher's noodles have been handmade in the Barossa using the freshest ingredients and quality Barossa eggs. The best you can get. From fine ribbon and string noodles to chili, black pepper, spelt ribbon and more. Look for Reacher's quality range of Barossa Valley egg noodles in the pasta section of your supermarket. 90 years in the making. Devoured in minutes.
Looking for a new home? Win one instead. Get your Hospital Research Foundation home lottery tickets now. Win a brand new single-level Scott Salisbury home in West Beach. Win all the furnishings and mortgage-free lifestyle. Win $100,000 cash. That's what you'll win with a $4.3 million grand prize. Plus, you'll make a life-changing impact in our community. Get your tickets now at homelottery.com.au. Licensing 14944.
Polio may be all but eradicated in Australia, but its effects are not completely gone. Symptoms like weakness, joint pain and fatigue may still persist. If you suffered from polio as a child or it affected your parents, Polio SA would like to hear from you.
Polio SA is a support group for post-polio syndrome. There's no cure, but there are recommended management strategies. The group can help you understand how polio can affect survivors later in life. These symptoms can be hard to diagnose. Even medical professionals might miss them.
Polio SA is committed to making life for polio survivors as comfortable as possible. Find out more by speaking to Polio SA's Community Officer, Lauren. Visit poliosa.org.au and get in contact today.
At The Advertiser, we help you get ahead of the issues affecting your family, from cost of living and health to schools and local news. We're for Adelaide, we're for South Australia, and we're for you.
There's a moment every family hopes for. When you walk in and they're just happy, settled, themselves, and you realise the decision you agonised over was the right one all along. Para Ability Community Care is one of the state's largest and most trusted disability accommodation providers. We're improving lives in small ways every day. Our PAC fully trained carers give your loved one the life they deserve and give you back the relationship you always wanted. Experience our kindness and connection. Visit ourpac.com.au.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Well, the Adelaide Cabaret Festival starts next month, features some fantastic shows, two of which may be of massive interest to our audience, featuring our next guest, Mahalia Barnes. The first is a one-night-only special event featuring the cast of Jesus Christ Superstar. So they sit down and they'll sing the songs. It sounds terrific. The other, I reckon this will be more up your alley, David. Mahali's going to sing the songs of Bette Midler's award-winning soundtrack, The Rose, which I've got to say, talk about an intimidating vocal feat.
I'll say.
But she's up to it. Mahalia Barnes, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How exciting, Mahalia. Bette Midler. That would have to be one of the toughest songs to sing, isn't it?
Look, you know what? She's one of the greatest singers of all time, for sure. But what I love about this soundtrack is that there's so many fantastic songs in it, and they're just great songs to sing. The story is beautiful, it's sad and it's heartbreaking and it's familiar. As a woman in music, as someone who's grown up in the rock and roll world, we see a lot of the story sort of really resonates with me, and it's just something that I felt compelled to sort of give it a go. And I like a challenge, so I'm up for it.
Do you like the cabaret format? Because, beyond having hit the high notes, there's this, in the Jesus Christ Superstar, in conversation is quite literally in conversation, but there is a storytelling component to it, more interaction with the audience, that sort of traditional cabaret way. Do you see that as an extra challenge, or is that something that is just fun?
I think that's something that I love. In the last, in more recent years, for people who've seen me do shows in the last sort of 5 to 6 years, you might have noticed that I tend to talk a lot more in my shows. I tend to really, that's part of what I love about, the engagement with the audience and with people and with the stories, singing, I remember when I was a very young singer and I was like a teenager and learning to do starting to do gigs and stuff like that, I'd sing and I'd be, paralyzed by the thought of having to speak in between songs or, talk to the audience. I'd be like, God, come on, band, start the song, Whereas these days I actually really I really enjoy that part of it. And I think, the Cabaret Festival in Adelaide is really such a special event that happens every year. The first time I played the Cabaret Festival, I was pregnant with my daughter Ruby, who is turning 17 this year. So it was 17 years ago when I was there for the first time.
That's amazing.
And, I've been very privileged to get to play there a couple of times over the years. And it's just such a great audience, a great feeling, and, an amazing group of different artists from all over the world coming together, and so I feel really proud to get to be a part of that, not only with one show, but two. The Rose is going to be really special. I'm going to have an incredible band, and I'm going to follow that journey of the music of that movie, and hopefully get the feeling, give the audience the feeling, and help them understand the tragic story of this woman in rock and roll in the 60s and 70s. It's loosely based on the life of Janis Joplin, that movie.
Yeah.
But I think they didn't actually get the rights to have all of Janis's songs in it, so I'll make sure I put a couple of them in though, because we're allowed. We're not making a film here. But there's so many women who I'm inspired by, who were literally beating a path for women like me to be able to sing and do what I do, in spite of the struggles with drugs and alcohol addiction, and the distance from family and friends, and the weird world that celebrity brings, and success brings, and especially at a time where women were not really, supposed to rise to the top or be too outspoken or be too different, or, all of the things. And I just think it's an amazing story, but most importantly, it's incredible music. There's some of my favourite songs of all time are in that soundtrack. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And then the Jesus Christ Superstar cast, we didn't get to come to Adelaide with the show. They didn't bring us to Adelaide. So Adelaide is sort of like, the major city of Australia that missed out on Jesus Christ Superstar. So that's why when Ruben Kay, who is the artistic director of the festival, was announced, we all sort of were like, well, can we do something Jesus Christ Superstar at the festival? Because, he was the most extraordinary Herod. And the whole group of us, we came into this show, I came into this show myself, and I think Ruben and Michael Painter probably feel the same way, as outsiders in musical theatre world, not people who are your likely candidates for a music theatre show, and, you may never see me in another one. But it was like, I didn't come into it expecting, I didn't know what to expect. I knew that the music was going to be incredible because it's such a important soundtrack of the Australian culture, like the landscape from the 70s into the 90s version with Farnham and, Kate Sobrano and John Stevens. It's something that's been a part of the fabric of our nation.
Yeah, totally.
So I was sort of honoured to get to be, asked to step into that role of Mary when they were doing the national tour. But what I didn't expect was that I would make an incredible bunch of friends that, I know will be my friends for life. It was such an extraordinary experience, and they were all incredible. Michael Painter, I don't know if any of you guys got to see Michael at the, Fringe Festival recently. I think he was down there. But he is, I've known Michael for 20 years, and just every time I see him sing, I'm just completely blown away.
Oh, yeah, he's remarkable.
And when I was asked to do it, I said, look, I'd love to do this, but really matters who the Jesus is. And I put Michael's hat into the ring, and I was like, I would love to hear Michael sing these songs. And I couldn't have asked for a better Jesus than Michael Painter.
Your own personal Jesus. Yeah. Excellent stuff, Mahalia. Mahalia Barnes, speaking ahead of not one but two appearances at the 2026 Adelaide Cabaret Festival. Thank you.
15 minutes to 7. We'll check traffic in just a moment. I've just spotted a text that is of massive interest given our newest segment on 5AA Breakfast, the Golden Sack Truck. I think it's a nominee, and we have some exciting news after 7 o'clock regarding your nominations this week for the Golden Sack Truck. Brought
it's a
to
segment
us by
whose time has
its
come.
creator. That's right. So if you've got anything, an example of government doing something stupid, that could well be a nomination for the Golden Sack Truck. We'll open the phone lines after 7 o'clock this morning because we're going to. I think our listeners will agree this is a pretty good nomination this morning. That's coming up. First, though, let's head to the Weather Bureau. Michael Efron is on duty. Michael, we had a little bit of rain overnight. Will we have any more today, do you suspect?
Hi, David and Will. We will have a few more showers. We have seen totals typically 1 to 4 millimetres in the gauges. We're headed for a top also of 18 degrees today. So those showers should tend to ease through the late afternoon. But then on Wednesday, we'll see those showers returning, not too much around, just a couple throughout the day, a low of 12 up to 19 degrees. And then we'll have some settled weather returning on Thursday, partly cloudy up to 20. Friday, partly cloudy up to 19. Saturday also dry and partly cloudy up to 19. But then on Sunday, a couple of showers returning, 19 again, and also 19 next Monday with a shower or two. But today and tomorrow, just a couple of showers around.
Good stuff, Michael. Thank you for that. Michael Efron there from the Weather Bureau.
All right, let's head to St. Paul. Senior Constable Liam Bennett is on the line. Liam, there's been a firearms incident.
Good morning, yes. Emergency services were called to a home on Nadia Crescent about 1:45 this morning after reports a man had suffered a gunshot wound to his leg. The 27-year-old Evanston man was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Southern District detectives and crime scene investigators attended the scene and seized a homemade pen gun from the address. And police are still working to determine the circumstances and are yet to formally speak with the injured man. So anyone with any information about this incident is urged to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
Liam, also there's been a robbery at One Tree Hill.
Yeah, that's right. Police were called to an alarm activation at a pub on Blacktop Road about 1:10 a.m. this morning. A CCTV showed 3 suspects arriving in a white single cab ute, and they smashed a window to gain entry and stole some alcohol before fleeing the scene. Again, crime scene investigators are going to attend the scene this morning, but we're just asking anyone out there listening this morning with dashcam or CCTV from the One Tree Hill area between about 1 o'clock and 1:30 this morning, if they can check their footage and see if they spot this white single cab ute. And if they do, contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
And just lastly, Liam, someone's been caught stealing water meters.
Yeah, that's right. Officers were called to King Way at Newry about 4 p.m. Yesterday afternoon. That was with reports of a man removing water meters from homes under construction. And witnesses saw the suspect leave in a Volkswagen hatchback, which was later stopped by patrols on Old Kapunda Road. The driver, a 61-year-old man, allegedly returned a positive drug test for methamphetamine. And when police searched his car, they found a heap lot of water meters and lengths of copper piping. He was arrested and charged with multiple offences, and he was refused bail and will appear in court today. We're just asking that anyone in the area who saw any suspicious activity yesterday afternoon to please reach out, 1800 333 000.
Thanks for that, Liam. Senior Constable Liam Bennett from SOPOL. What I don't understand with this whole copper pipe thing is the people who buy it, the people who receive it from the dishevelled-looking person with, red blotches on their face, all the other telltale signs of, several years of meth use, probably not even several years in some cases. Like a guy like this guy is like...
he's got his back of his car full of water meters that have been freshly pulled out of the ground.
Who's buying it going, there's nothing suspicious about this vendor? Like, it must be a whole subculture, not just the people who steal and sell it, but the people who buy it are in on the scam too, clearly. But I don't get, what do you do with a stolen water meter?
Well, I think there's copper wiring in there, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'd guess. That's what I thought as Liam was speaking.
I wouldn't even speculate. Anything involving a water meter, get a man in for that kind of thing.
Exactly right.
When it comes to being handy around the house, I am less than a man.
What is the water company's approach if your water meter is stolen? Do you just you probably get charged whatever the maximum is, I assume?
No,
we couldn't take an accurate reading, so we estimated.
Well, they do that.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, we're just having a stab at this one.
Yeah. Does it ever come in unders?
No, I don't think so.
I would have thought.
You wouldn't want it to because you have to pay it in the long run anyway.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they'd fix it up at a later date. It's 10 to 7. We're going to check traffic and come back with more in just a moment.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. Roads are wet with passing showers. Take it easy on the drive. Got a burst water main to look out for today at Walkerville, North East Road near Fuller Street, lane closed affecting city bound. Park home, traffic lights out in all directions. Oaklands Road at Marion Road. Busy already today. South Road at Edwardstown in front of Castle Plaza. And a camera this morning, Brighton Road, Hove. Choose to fight MND this big freeze. You've got to use it. Buy a beanie from Coles, Bunnings, Select Ready Express stores or online at fightmnd.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Get great deals this end of financial year at CMI Toyota, SA's #1 selling Toyota dealer. There's over 200 pre-owned vehicles in stock, priced to clear and ready for immediate delivery. Like the 2024 Toyota RAV4 GX from $44,990 plus on roads. View the range online or visit CMI Toyota today. We love to see you smiling. Toyota. LVD 2009, Rego S398 DLF.
With Let's Get Care, get more control to design your day, get more choice to pick the support that suits you, and get $1,000 more value for your supported home package when you join today. Search Let's Get Care. Ends June 30. New customers only. T's and C's apply.
Now, it's that time of year again. Cancer Council Australia's biggest morning tea is back, and there's no better time to raise life-saving funds than right now.
1 in 2 South Australians will be impacted by cancer at some point in their lives. And without the support of the South Australian community to fund prevention programs, research and support, the work Cancer Council does simply wouldn't be possible.
So be part of something life-changing and host your very own morning tea this May or June.
Whether it's at home with loved ones, at the office with colleagues or with friends in your community, every cup counts. Visit biggestmorningtea.com.au to register.
Are the foods you love always leaving you with a bloated belly, gas and indigestion? Introducing Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic. Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic relieves bloating and indigestion. It contains 2 billion CFU of gut health probiotics combined with sweet orange, peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve flatulence. If you're fed up with bloating, gas and indigestion, try Caruso's Bloatless Probiotic today from leading pharmacies and health stores.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
7 to 7. We're going to talk mice very shortly, posing all sorts of issues for our farmers and people in the regions. So that's coming up shortly. First, though, let's head to Blackwood because Mike's on the line. Mike, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, boys. I used to supply security services to control rooms, to scrap metal yards, but they're full of brass. Funny name, Dobby Dicko, D-O-B-B-I-E-D-I-C-O. They might have even been made in South Australia, but no, not copper, but it's solid brass that attracts the goons.
And you're saying in water meters, Mike? I think
we lost Mike.
I think that's to what he was referring.
Yeah.
So it's brass, not the copper. Again, you've got to turn up somewhere and
hey,
I've just got these water meters.
I found these.
Fell off the back of a truck.
Yeah, a mate gave them to me.
Brad Perry, the CEO of the grain producers of South Australia, is on the line to talk about some of the mice issues that are troubling our farmers regionally. Brad, good morning. The good news is you've got a new tool in your arsenal to fight this mice plague.
Yeah, we have, and morning, guys. Thankfully, after some work, we've had approval of the same bait we're using now to get a hold of the mice, but it's double the strength, so really good news.
Oh, so it's not a new poison, Brad. It's just a stronger version of the existing one.
Yeah, that's right, and it's more effective because it can save time, money, but we were seeing some resistance building up to the single strength version of it.
So for those of us who have a sort of, much lower scale backyard battle with rats to save our tomatoes, what's it like? Is it comparable to rat sack? Is it in pellet form, or are they baits? How do you do it?
No, they're manufactured into baits. So there's the particular approved suppliers, manufacturers that be able to make the stuff, and there's a whole system that the growers have got to go through to make sure that it's applied properly and doesn't have any off-label impacts. So the focus is mice, and that's what we want to get on top of.
We've spoken a lot in the last 6 months about cost inputs for grain producers and farmers in South Australia from global conflicts and local issues. Is this another massive cost burden to try and rid your property of mice?
Oh, it certainly is a cost burden for those areas that have got it. The baits aren't cheap, so it's another cost hit for the bottom line. I think it's going to be a really tight season financially. So hopefully we can just get on top of the pest situation and deal with the rest.
So are there parts of the state where the mice are causing the most damage, Brad, like the worst affected parts of the state?
Yeah, we did a survey. We had about 400 grain producers respond to that survey. 1 in every 2 were seeing mice activity, but the hot spots that came up were York Peninsula, Mid-North and Adelaide Plains. So there's some areas that have got activity. Some don't have any at all, thankfully. But we just need that extra tool in the toolkit to try and get on top of them quickly before they breed up.
Yeah. So this poison, Brad, just because a couple of people have asked, can they pop down to Bunnings and get it themselves? Is this something that's only available for people on the land?
Yeah, that's right. Yep, there's a process that growers will have to go through where you have to undertake training, get a certificate. You obviously have to be a grain producer, so you can't go and buy it at the local hardware store. This is something that there will be for those farmers. And, I mean, if the farmers don't get on top of the issue, that's when you will start seeing more mice show up in your backyard. So that's why we got to hit it at the coalface.
And what's the status of some of these other pressures that you guys have been facing in the industry at the moment, Brad, namely things like diesel availability and price and fertiliser availability and price?
Yeah, diesel's an interesting one. It seems to have plateaued, so availability is fine. Fertiliser as well, I think the demand is less for grain production this year. I think we're going to see a lot less fertiliser applied. So demand there has also gone down. The issue, though, is still price. So still, $700 a tonne for urea, a fertiliser, for example, before the Iran war, and it's still at about $1,400, $1,500. So, that's adding hundreds of thousands of dollars to some farmers' bottom line that they didn't plan for. And, I mean, the positive thing is we've had really good rain. So probably one of the best starts we've seen rainfall-wise in many years. The dampeners, obviously, the costs on fuel and fertiliser.
If you use less fertiliser, does that mean less yield? Yeah,
so that's the risk. So spreading less fertiliser means not necessarily, but it's most likely that you'll have an impact on your yield. So farmers are taking a gamble, but in many ways, a lot of them don't really have a choice.
Yeah, no, they don't. That's for sure, Brad. Thank you for that, mate. Brad Perry, the CEO of Grain Producers SA.
It's 2 minutes to 7 and...
The top 7 before 7.
I've just been handed a top 7 before 7 on this Tuesday, the 19th of May, in honour of Hormuz. The top 7 straights. The top 7 straights.
Oh, I love this. I love this category.
In the 7th spot, the Flemington Strait. The 6th spot, Bass. 5th, Dire Straits. 4th, George Strait. 3, Straight Whiskey. 2, Straight Jacket. And the number 1 straight on 5AA Breakfast this morning is Straight Down the Guts.
Can I just say, where is Investigator Straight?
Didn't make it. 8th, I think.
Oh, for crying out loud. That's ridiculous. Yeah, Investigator Straight.
Who are you dropping out?
I didn't get George Strait.
Yeah, who's George Strait, Paddy? He's just thrown in. He's just totally made up a name.
George Strait. Is it a play on words about George Street?
Country music singer. Oh, that'd be Emily's influence.
Never heard of George Strait. We're dropping George Strait.
So
for
George Strait's out
Strait.
for Investigator Strait.
I don't want to sound rude, but that list is a pile of bollocks.
I think that was frankly an excellent.
I like Dire.
Yeah, Dire Straits.
Dire Straits. I don't mind if they're at number 2.
To be honest, I quite like Straight Down the Guts.
Straight Down the Guts.
Route 1 football. 7 o'clock, 5AA News is on the way. Phil Curry coming up very, very shortly. And we'll have a chat with the Parkland protesters about this awful attack on the Premier's family and some seeking to get access to his home. His whereabouts posted online for God only knows what purpose. We'll be talking about that next.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers today, 18 with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre.
Police in the United States say a threat at an Islamic centre is now neutralised following an active shooter situation. 3 people, including a security guard, have been killed. It's believed the other 2 are teenage gunmen. A hospital close to the San Diego Mosque has confirmed it's receiving patients relating to the shooting, adding reports indicate there are multiple people injured. A Muslim community member telling CNN she dropped everything to rush to the scene, fearing the worst.
There's a school that's operating inside with children and community members that are so young. I can't even imagine what they're going through right now.
2 boys and a woman have been found dead in southwest Sydney in a home in what police are describing as a particularly violent scene. The bodies of boys aged 4 and 12 and a 46-year-old woman were found inside the Campbelltown property. A man in his 40s has now been charged with 3 counts of domestic violence murder. Today Show reporter Jack Hahn says investigations are ongoing.
Police say that in somewhat of a strange twist, it was not neighbours, but it was the suspect himself who called 000 officers racing to this quiet suburban street in Campbelltown, speaking with this man, going inside a property and making this disturbing discovery.
Farmers in South Australia will have access to a stronger poison targeting mice, destroying grain crops. The Pesticide and Vet Medicines Authority has approved an emergency use of double-strength zinc phosphide mouse bait. Brad Perry from the Grain Producers Association says mice numbers are increasing.
Yeah, we did a survey. We had about 400 grain producers respond to that survey. 1 in every 2 were seeing mice activity, but the hot spots that came up were York Peninsula, Mid-North and Adelaide Plains. So there's some areas that have got activity. Some don't have any at all, thankfully. But we just need that extra tool in the toolkit.
Police are investigating a break-in at a licensed hotel at One Tree Hill overnight. Senior Constable Liam Bennett says alarms were activated at the pub on Blacktop Road just after 1 this morning.
The CCTV showed 3 suspects arriving in a white single cab ute, and they smashed a window to gain entry and stole some alcohol before fleeing the scene. Again, crime scene investigators are going to attend the scene this morning.
Shops are increasingly building safe rooms for their workers to flee to due to increasing violence from customers. Theo Fukari is the CEO of the Australian Association of Convenience Stores.
Retailers are doing everything that they can to protect their staff through increasing sort of target hardening measures. So everything from CCTV to, in really bad cases, body-worn cameras. They've got panic buttons that go off to emergency. And
at least 100 people have now been confirmed dead in the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And new analysis suggests some of Australia's top universities are collaborating with counterparts at Chinese institutions to research military warfare. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And a big day for the Crows, Tom Wren.
It's a massive day, isn't it, Matty? Adelaide's players are going to train around lunchtime as they prepare for Thursday night's big match against Hawthorn in Tasmania. Now, the Crows have to consider whether to bring in Taylor Walker, Riley Thilthorpe and Callum Archie. Midfielder Sam Berry telling Rowie and Timmy G it'll be interesting to see whether they do bring in the big forwards in Thilthorpe and Walker straight back.
I'm not sure what they're going to do. It'll be interesting, given we've got a bye after this game as well. But, yeah, I mean, we'll find out all that.
They're going to be fascinating. Meantime, Essendon Best and Fairest winner Peter Wright will miss Friday night's Dreamtime clash against Richmond. That's because of a knee injury. The ruckman suffering ligament damage to his knee during the loss to Fremantle. Meantime, West Coast defender Josh Lindsay has been named the rising star for round 10. Let's get to soccer, and Arsenal's recorded a crucial 1-0 win against Burnley in the English Premier League this morning. That result means they're 5 points clear of Manchester City with 1 game to play, and they will claim their first league title in 22 years if they win their final match. The State of Origin squads have been released. Queensland could have up to 6 debutants in Game 1 of the Best of 3 series, while New South Wales could have as many as 7. Pat Cummins has put in a huge effort for his Sunrisers Hyderabad overnight in the IPL. He took 3 wickets as they had a 5-wicket win against the Chennai Super Kings. And mixed results for our Aussie women in Strasbourg. In Daria Kazatkina, she had a win, but Talia Gibson lost. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking your drive to work and school this morning.
Morning there. Damp roads with a few passing showers in various areas. Do take it easy on the drive this morning. Burst Watermain to look out for toward Walkerville, North East Road near Fuller Street. A line out of action there. Park Home lights on the blink. That's around Oaklands Road and Marion Road, just near the shopping centre. And we're quite busy right now. South Road, Edwardston in front of Castle Plaza. Cameras, East Parkway lights view. And Anzac Highway, Karata Park. Let the CommSec share market experts give you an investing edge on the daily CommSec Market Update podcast. This podcast is created and distributed by CommSec. Content is general in nature. Investing carries risk. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Showers today, 18. A shower or two tomorrow, 19. Partly cloudy on Thursday and 20. Same for Friday, 19. Currently it's 15. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
7 after 7, good morning to you and welcome to Tuesday. If you're joining us for the very first time, the 19th of May. Bit of rain overnight. We just spoke to the Bureau. They're expecting perhaps a couple of showers more over the course of the day. Then, as you've just heard, a drizzly week ahead. Coming up ahead on the program, Phil Curry will join us after 7:30. It's been a huge last week in federal politics. Time to catch our breath and just recap what it all means with Phil. Bit of polling out now, post-budget as well, to get a bit of a sense of what people make of it. Intriguing. People seem to not like it, but also not be changing their vote. But we'll get Phil to get his interpretation after 7:30. And I think one of the more extraordinary stories we've covered in the last few weeks will be something we'll talk about very shortly with the Adelaide Parklands Association President Matt Monty. This Stop the Chop campaign has jumped the shark. The AI version of the Premier and his family, pictures being used, people seeking to publish his address.
I think they need to. I'm not blaming them for the actions and the statements of the people who wrote those things, but I am blaming them for creating a let it rip environment where no allegation is too unhinged about the reality of what is actually happening at the golf course. Like, you would think that this is the desecration of the Amazon, the way these people are carrying on.
I think you can stand there and with your placards and protest, and if you want to try and disrupt, like, whatever, protest it but once you try dragging public officials' families and kids into things, you've lost the argument at that point. You've lost credibility and you've lost the capacity to act like a rational human being.
Yeah. Yep. But they're the way these Facebook groups work is they create a vehicle whereby that can happen. So if you were going to create that vehicle, you've got to moderate the buggery out of it while it's up there live. You can't just go, oh, well, we're not in charge of the comments. Well, no, you are, because you've got administrators. So if you're going to be so sloppy with your administration that you're going to let a bloke's family be targeted. And I went back and checked as well. The result in the seat of Adelaide, with all the facts on the table about how much the golf course is going to cost and how many trees are going to be chopped down, Lucy Hood, her vote went up 2%. Kieran Snape, who ran on a platform of stopping the whole thing, he got 2,002 votes. He got 8% of the vote. The Greens went up marginally. They went up 1%. They got 14%. The Liberals went down 18.5%. While making criticisms about the lack of transparency around this project. Right, they raised some questions about the manner in which Peter Malinauskas was approaching the whole golf course proposal. Well, the sum total of their querying of it is that they got 5,000 votes. So, the Premier has a mandate to chop down these trees.
Yeah. The democratic process this is not the federal budget that was sprung on everyone and there were things lied about. This could not have been more transparent. People voted for it.
But the story of Adelaide, you know what we are masters at in this funny little town? We are masters at sort of going from the end is nigh, catastrophising about projects like the River Torrens footbridge, the Adelaide Oval upgrade, and even the Unley Oval fence. Well, I was talking to a couple of people in Unley the other day who said, this fence actually looks pretty good. Like, how
Is this an Adelaide thing, though? Isn't
Well, no, I think it's...
These people have more in common with Extinction Rebellion than your garden variety NIMBY, don't they? They think they think their moral crusade is like what justifies an escalation and targeting family is that there is things greater than us at play here, which I don't think, maybe apart from a couple of holdouts, the Unley Fence opponents sort of ever tried to argue. There was no greater power guiding them.
But what I'm saying, though, is when this golf course is finished and in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, because there's going to be 1,000 more trees. There's going to be more trees. I know the rejoinder to that is, they're just saplings. Well, sure, a lot of them are saplings. Some of them are going to be more advanced and more mature. But you know what saplings turn into? Really bloody big trees. And if anyone's ever planted a lemon-scented gum in their yard, you will know, often via the destruction of your fence, these things grow like mad. Like, when it's done, people are going to go, for all the fuss, how great does the new golf course look? Because that's the pattern of Adelaide. Whinge, and then after it's done, it's iconic. Imagine the River Torrens without the footbridge now.
Oh yeah, it should be a lot wider. That's the problem with the footbridge.
Everyone loves it.
It is kind of funny in a purely numerical sense, the idea that in the process of saving the trees, 1,000 fewer trees will be planted. Now, this is interesting. We've got the Golden Sack truck that we launched last week, targeting... this is not just targeting local government, but they do provide us with many such examples, but it was inspired by the Charles Sturt Council finding the charity for feeding the starving. And they in not acknowledging their error, but trying to, a spirit of working with the charity, gave them a sack truck, 3 sack trucks and some driver education. So we have christened the Golden Sack Truck as our monument to government stuff-ups that we will award each and every week. And we're getting some terrific nominations, and I think this one fits among them. Nathan on the text line says, boys, the Holdfast Bay Council are notorious for dishing out parking fines, but this one is unbelievable. I am a contractor for SA Power Networks. My work vehicle is fully signed. He sent us through a picture of his car, and it's got, frequently stopping vehicle. It's got all the signage on it. It looks, you can tell it's a SA Power Networks car. He says, I parked in a loading zone, which is a reserved space for people like myself, for 3 minutes. Returned yesterday after parking in the loading zone to find my vehicle with a parking ticket. The offence, stop in a loading zone. Gobsmacked. I've parked these vehicles in loading zones for 10 years and never had an issue until yesterday. I think that qualifies as a Golden Sack Truck entry, doesn't it?
For sure. And I really hope Nathan tries to challenge that. Because I would have thought 3 minutes in a loading zone, how can the offence be stop in a loading zone if you're legitimately using it for loading and unloading? I'm going to drift into flying high scripts here.
I was going to say, careful. I'm no expert, but I'm not sure what the utility of a loading zone is if it prevents anyone from ever stopping in it.
The red zone is for loading and unloading. The red zone's only ever been for unloading.
The utility of the Golden Sack Truck Award is that it allows us to shine a light on these sorts of incidents, and thank you, Nathan, you're in the running. It was the brainchild of Rob from Clearview who said we needed to get a Golden Sack Truck to commemorate the Charles Sturt Council last week, so we did precisely that. Rob's on the program now. Rob, thank you for the idea. You've inspired something that I think is going to become a phenomenon. But you want to add to it for this inaugural awarding of the sack truck this week.
G'day, guys. Yeah, and I think the Glenelg thing was bureaucratic literalism at its best. The inflexibility to bend to the common sense. Look, I work for a waste company, which you may not have known. We've met the once. And I went to the boss the other day because the Golden Sack Truck here at work, when my boss goes off, we call it getting a pineapple. And we get the Golden Pineapple Award. So that's morphed into the Golden Sack Truck. And I'm fronting up for the first Golden Sack Truck Award, a 7 cubic metre skip bin, do your shed clean out, have a yard clean up. We'll bring it round. We'll take it away for free. You can get a fair bit into a 7 cube skip. So whoever picks this up is going to be having a really good clean out in the long weekend coming up, mate.
That is a great prize, Rob. They're worth hundreds of bucks usually, aren't they?
$540 is the normal price, so that's with the disposal and everything. That's the all-up cost. So anyone else needing a skip, come to Allied Waste. We'll give you a skip, and if you're not satisfied, I'll give you twice your rubbish back.
Rob, mate, that is sensational.
We'll leave it on your lawn.
What an absolute superstar! You are.
That's good.
What Tommy Wren is to Live Golf, Rob, you are to the Golden Sack Truck, the godfather of it, a beloved South Australian institution. Good on you, Rob.
Cheers, Jeff.
So Allied Waste,
it really is a terrific idea, and like it's got such utility. The Golden Sack Truck, and I love. We've already had about 10 entries. We've been going for a day and a half.
We've had to build. Poor old Em, her remit of responsibilities has increased because she's got to now keep track of Golden Sack Truck entries. This week, coming with the added benefit of a $540 7 cubic metre skip bin that can be delivered to your house and taken away by the great people of Allied Waste. That is fantastic. Brilliant. The sack truck is up and away, the Golden Sack Truck. We will award it on Friday morning. Nathan, it was Nathan that got the Holdfast pay fine, wasn't it? Nathan, you are well and truly in the running. Maybe we'll right some wrongs in the process of giving this out as well. It's 16 after 7 and time to cast our mind forward to Best of SA, the 12th of June. It is fast approaching at Adelaide Oval. Remember, you can buy tickets this year by heading to 5AA.com.au. And in the lead up, we are celebrating some wonderful South Australian businesses and success stories like Kirkbride Seafood.
Joining me right now on Doothie Street in Unley is Reece Kirkbride, Director of Kirkbride Seafood. Reece, you're Adelaide's only fishmonger with its own commercial licence. What does that mean for people who love seafood?
What it means is that everything is fresh because obviously we catch it ourselves. So that seafood to plate process follows through. So fish get caught in the morning. They're either at the shop in the afternoon or the day before. They arrive the very next morning. So you got trust in the product that it's fresh and the people get the shelf life when they take it home.
And how important is that to your customers that they know, where it's coming from and what they're getting?
Oh, well, it's everything, and trust is everything. So that seafood that people get, they can have the second night, the third night if they don't sort of get to eat it that evening, the day they purchase it. But it is really about consistency and trust.
And what are people getting this time of year? What's the best thing to be grabbing from Kirkbride?
Well, there's always the staples of salmon, barramundi and flathead, and obviously the local species for this time of year are coming into winter, a King George whiting, garfish, but the usuals of prawns, oysters, they're probably the main staples, I suppose, yeah.
You're really involved in this process. You were just telling me you were going out fishing. You go out fishing for the fish that you sell?
Yeah, I'm pretty invested in the whole thing. I love it. I genuinely love seafood. It's, my passion. It's hard work, but I love it.
And we're so lucky in SA to have such beautiful seafood available to us.
Yeah, we are. We've got some of the best coastline in SA. Beautiful colour water, beautiful clean water, and you're getting super clean, product as well. So, yeah, some beautiful coastline, very underrated. Yeah, should be promoted more.
Beautiful. Thanks so much.
No worries. Thank you.
For your chance to win a $100 voucher to spend at Kirkbride Seafood and 2 tickets to Best of SA, Friday the 12th of June at Adelaide Oval. Get calling right now. Kirkbride Seafood, Adelaide's only fishmonger with its own commercial licence. So the fish you eat tonight was swimming this morning. Kirkbride Seafood, they do a wonderful job. They'll be there on the night, and so too will Julie from Tea Tree Gully. Julie, you've got the tickets and the Kirkbride Seafood voucher as well. More chances to win over the course of the day on 5AA and indeed tomorrow morning. So stay listening. But if you do miss out and you'd like to come along all the same, you can buy tickets at the website, 5AA.com.au.
Scott in Modbury says, wow, 3 minutes parked in a loading zone. I think Nathan must have got it for running the ticket officer over 3 minutes. He must have been writing the ticket for Nathan before he got out of his car. It is some sort of personal best, isn't it?
The more I think about it, this is a really strong contender for the Golden Sack Truck this week. Thank you for that, Scott. Time to check traffic.
Morning there. Roads are wet with a few passing showers. Take it easy on the drive. Leeward Gardens a breakdown to look out for this morning. It's on the freeway outbound near the Crafers interchange. Walkerville, Burstwater Main, North East Road near Fuller Street with the lane closed. And Parkholm got lights on the blink there. That's Oaklands Road at Marion Road. Cameras this morning, Brighton Road, Hove and Dunrobin Road at Warradale. This May, the Starlight Foundation is asking people across Australia to dig deep to help make hospitals a happier place for sick kids. Donate today at starlight.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
The alarm bells appear to be ringing in Canberra loudly. Labor certainly knows it. The extraordinary rise of One Nation is no longer a polling curiosity. It's becoming a structural force in Australian politics. Post-budget polling showing One Nation on 32%, ahead of Labor, streets ahead of the coalition.
Graham Goodings.
Australians are losing faith in the entire system, not just one government.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise.
Precise. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
For a plumber or an electrician, call Precise.
Call Precise.
Renovating your bathroom, kitchen or laundry is exciting. It's the bit after that's annoying. Cleaning and scrubbing mould out of grout. Well, if you choose Mr. Wet Wall now instead of tiles, you'll have a lot less to do later. With Mr. Wet Wall, there's no grout, just a stunning, smooth surface that's stylish and 100% waterproof. It's quicker to install, so it costs less, and there's zero mess. So why wouldn't you, Mr. Wet Wall? MrWetWall.com.
You know how some ingredients just quietly make everything better? For a lot of South Australian cooks, that's Weech's Barossa Valley egg noodles. They've been making them in the Barossa for more than 90 years, using quality Barossa eggs and simple ingredients the way they always have.
These noodles really are world class. You can't make chicken noodle soup without Weech's noodles. The beauty of having a box or two in the pantry, though, is how easy dinner becomes. A rich ragu, a quick stir fry, chicken noodle soup, even chili garlic prawns if you're feeling a bit adventurous.
They're the kind of noodles that turn whatever's in the fridge into a proper meal. Chicken, beef, prawns, leftover veggies. Just add Weech's Barossa Valley egg noodles and suddenly that dinner comes together.
And the range is fantastic. There's fine ribbon noodles, string noodles, chili, black pepper and more. There's a style for just about anything you feel like cooking.
Look for Weech's Barossa Valley egg noodles in the pasta section of your supermarket. 90 years in the making, devoured in minutes.
Get a triple points boost on every shop in-store at Woolworths. Just boost the offer in the Everyday Rewards app before you shop and see your points take off. Offer available in-store only. Hurry, ends today, only at Woolworths. T's and C's apply.
Planning your next event? Choose a venue where everything comes together. Adelaide Convention Centre. It's where your vision and our expertise come together, where creative cuisine meets extraordinary productions and excitement and innovation combine in a space that is truly world-class. From corporate gatherings to grand celebrations, we make every occasion unforgettable. Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre and start planning your next event today.
Are the foods you love always leaving you with a bloated belly, gas and indigestion? Introducing Caruso's Bloat Less Probiotic. Caruso's Bloat Less Probiotic relieves bloating and indigestion. It contains 2 billion CFU of gut health probiotics combined with sweet orange, peppermint and ginger, which are traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to relieve flatulence. If you're fed up with bloating, gas and indigestion, try Caruso's Bloat Less Probiotic today from leading pharmacies and health stores.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 after 7 yesterday on the program, we revealed the moment the Stop the Chop campaign against cutting down the trees in the North Adelaide Golf Course had gotten truly ugly. Yesterday on the program, we read out some of the posts in a Facebook forum that had mocked up images of the Premier with his family and his children, had people seeking to publish his home address. One of them was spoken to on 7 News last night. Have a listen.
So he's kind of done it to himself, but again, not advocating for violence against him or his family.
We've got Matt Monty, the president of the Adelaide Parklands Association, on the line now. Matt, you heard what that guy just said. I know you're not responsible for everything everybody says, but do you think you have perhaps created a bit of an environment where some of the commentary around this project has been so utterly hysterical that it's invited comments like that where a bloke's happy to say on television that the Premier's family's children are being targeted, and one of your supporters says, well, he sort of brought it upon himself.
Good morning, guys. Well, look, we're hoping not. I mean, we've been trying to keep very clear, especially over the past week, that we don't support any actions or threats of violence in this campaign, because this isn't who we are. It's a movement of peace and non-violence, as the environmental movement.
Well, the problem with that little pat explanation, though, mate, is that the very Facebook site that you set up became a vehicle to publish them.
Yeah, and look, I mean, we have been clear that that was a mistake, that we actually should have had admin approval on in that group far earlier. The group was set up when it was a lot smaller. It's ballooned to about 6,000 members now, and we were too slow to realise just how out of hand it was. We have volunteer moderators trying to keep track of things, but we should have made the job a hell of a lot easier for our moderators by having admin approval on in the first place. But nevertheless, when we became aware of these posts, we delete them as soon as we possibly can. And we've made it very clear to everyone in that group, any commentary like that again will be reported to SAPOL.
Well, that is a fair response to it now that it's been made public. But I would have thought, given the scale of the attention that this had received, surely in hindsight you should have seen the freight train coming. I mean, if you're going to have unfettered discussion of this without moderation, do you know how long these threatening posts were up for?
As far as I'm aware, it was up for maybe an hour or two. And as soon as I became aware of it, I took it down myself. As I said, it probably, I mean, hindsight's 2020. We probably should have had the admin approval on as soon as we saw how big that group was getting. But we can't change that now. It was a mistake, and we have to do what we can to ensure that this sort of commentary never happens again, because we don't want the Premier or his family to feel unsafe. They are not the reason for our campaign. This is not a personal war with the Premier. This is about the actions in the Adelaide Parklands. That's where our opposition is, and it doesn't help our campaign or our movement for a group of individuals to take it far too far and involve threats of violence or doxing.
Do you think those posts have cost you the PR battle over the removal of the trees?
Oh, look, we hope not, but that wasn't my first thought when I found out about it. My first thought was for the Premier and his family. We don't want them feeling unsafe because they've done nothing wrong. This is not their fault. This is not their decision. We need to be able to have, as the Premier said, peaceful campaigns and disagreements, and that's normally how we handle things in South Australia. I'm hoping that a small group of idiots doesn't tar the rest of the movement, because there are plenty of people, as the Premier said, who are doing the right thing and are showing their disagreement in a peaceful way, showing up to protests, and we're hoping that people will continue to do that.
Are the people responsible for those posts welcome at protests in the future?
Absolutely not. So we're actually holding another rally on Friday, and I plan to make it very clear from the start, if you are not here to support us in a peaceful and non-violent way, to show your opposition to this redevelopment and future attacks on the Adelaide Parklands, then you can leave right now, because this is not who we are. We don't want these people involved. We don't care if they support what we're doing. If they're going to handle themselves this way, they do not belong in our movement.
Matt, can I just clarify one thing? Where did the impetus for the removal of the offending posts come from? Was it you, or was it someone in your number going, hey, this is a bit over the top? Or rather, was it a case of you being contacted by the Premier's office saying, what about this statement? Are you going to do anything about that?
So, yeah, I was contacted. I hadn't been on my phone all day, but I did get a message from the Premier's office saying, hey, look, we've found this post in the group. We would appreciate it being taken down. And as soon as I got that message from the Premier's office, I went into the group myself. I normally don't moderate it, but I went in and deleted that post.
What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that, we didn't have enough people or volunteers able to follow the group, and we should have had admin approval on the whole time.
Maybe it tells you something different. Maybe it tells you that there are people who support your group who were actually looking at a comment like that and couldn't see that there was a problem with it. I mean, the fact that it took the Premier's office to contact you to say, can you please take this down? Why did no one in your organisation think that this really fails the standards of public decency and not act on it yourselves?
Well, what I can say is, from my experience in that group, with how many members there are, a lot of posts get thrown in and lost in the spread of posts being posted. There's a flurry of them coming in very quickly. From my knowledge, there wasn't actually much interaction with that post until the Premier's office alerted us to it. So we also don't, I personally don't get notifications from the group when people report it. I have to go in and look at reports. So we're hoping that those who did see that post, I can't go back now and check, but we're hoping those who did see the post would have reported it to us immediately. But that's not going to get to us as quickly as a text from the Premier's office.
Indeed.
Matt, before you address them next time as well, maybe call the dogs off the people that are working at the North Adelaide Golf Course as well. There's a groundsman who's contacted us that's saying he's going in and out of work, getting abused at the moment by people that are protesting, and I don't think any of this is his decision, so maybe they could pull back on the abuse to other random punters as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want that sort of behaviour.
No. Indeed. Add it to the list of the sort of behaviour you don't want. Matt Monty, the president of the Adelaide Parklands Association.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 18 with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre.
The Adelaide Parklands Association has apologised for comments made by its members threatening the family of Premier Peter Malinauskas. Protesters spending the last week at the North Adelaide Golf Links monitoring the 585 trees chopped down to make way for the $45 million upgrade. The association's Matt Monty saying idiots have no place in the group.
I'm hoping that a small group of idiots doesn't tar the rest of the movement, because there are plenty of people, as the Premier said, who are doing the right thing and are showing their disagreement in a peaceful way, showing up to protests, and we're hoping that people will continue to do that.
Police in the US say they're working with the FBI to investigate a shooting at an Islamic centre that they're declaring a hate crime. 3 people, including a security guard, were killed in the attack at the San Diego mosque. 2 suspects, both teenagers, were also found dead in a vehicle with self-inflicted wounds. San Diego Police Chief Scott Wall says gunfire was heard at a second location.
We had active gunfire coming in on a landscaper that was just out there doing his job. Thankfully, he's okay. He was not hit. He was not injured.
Police are investigating after a man was injured in a shooting at Christie Downs overnight. Senior Constable Liam Bennett says they were called to a home on Nadia Crescent at 1:45 this morning. The man shot in the leg.
A 27-year-old Evanston man was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The Southern District detectives and crime scene investigators attended the scene and seized a homemade pen gun from the address. And police are still working to determine the circumstances and are yet to formally speak with the injured man.
A man is due in court today accused of killing a woman and 2 boys in Sydney's southwest. Police say they were confronted with a particularly violent scene after they were called to the Campbelltown home. The man arrested at the scene and has now been charged with 3 counts of domestic violence murder. Wheat farmers across South Australia say mice numbers have been steadily increasing over the course of the year. The state government now approving use of a double-strength poison to target the rodents. Brad Perry from the Grain Producers SA Group says the double-strength zinc phosphide mouse bait will only be available to farmers.
There's a process that growers will have to go through where you have to undertake training, get a certificate. You obviously have to be a grain producer, so you can't go and buy it at the local hardware store. This is something that there will be for those farmers. If the farmers don't get on top of the issue, that's when you will start seeing more mice show up in your backyard. So that's why we got to hit it at the coalface.
The federal government is rejecting accusations its proposed changes to discretionary trusts amounts to a death tax. Labor intends to impose a 30% tax on testamentary trust from mid-2028. The opposition says the move penalises parents trying to secure their children's future. But Senior Minister Mark Butler telling Today the changes don't apply to most inheritance agreements.
You can almost set your watch, Carl, every few years, this scare campaign about a death tax. There hasn't been a tax on inheritances for 40 or 50 years, and there's not going to be one for 40 or 50 years at least. It's just not a place Australia's going to go.
And security guards have been posted to protect the newly added statue of Scott Morrison in Ballarat's Avenue of Statues, a bronze bust of the former PM, unveiled at Ballarat's Botanic Gardens. Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Man who I'm sure will get a statue one day, Tom Wren.
It'd be a little one. Let's start with some footy. The future of Zach Merritt is again being discussed as Essendon struggles continue. Footy Classified reporting the former Bombers captain who tried to exit last year is again looking to move. Merritt still has a year to run on his current contract. Meantime, Adelaide will hold their main training session today with much attention on Taylor Walker, Riley Thilthorpe and Callum Archie. All three are a chance to come back into the side. Let's go to soccer. Pep Guardiola is set to leave Manchester City after Sunday's final game of the season against Aston Villa. Meantime, Arsenal is within touching distance of its first English Premier League title in 22 years after a hard-fought 1-0 win at home against Burnley this morning.
Arsenal going to keep Burnley penned in. That's the noise they wanted to hear. 5 points clear.
Audio there, thanks to Stan Sport. Yeah, that result means Manchester City, who play away against Bournemouth tomorrow, must win. If they draw or lose, Arsenal will be champions before the final match is played this weekend. Let's go to cricket, and Pat Cummins has put in a vintage performance to help his Sunrisers Hyderabad lock up a final spot in the IPL. The Aussie captain taking 3 for 28 from his 4 overs to help restrict the Chennai Super Kings to a total of 180 from their 20 overs.
Smart catch, sharp catch in the deep. Now that was the batter that was looking dangerous. And once again, it is Pat Cummins who provides the breakthrough.
Audio there, thanks to Fox. Travis Head only made the 6, but the Sunrisers still chased down the target with an over to spare and by 5 wickets. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking the roads around Adelaide this morning.
Morning there. The odd shower passing through this morning. Take it easy on damp roads in a couple of spots today. Got lights on the Blinket Park Hole, Maureen Road at Oaklands Road, just near the shopping centre through there. Breakdown to look out for this morning at Crafers on the freeway outbound, just near the Crafers interchange. And a burst water main to look out for too. This one's at Walkerville, Northeast Road near Fuller Street. Camera, Brighton Road, Hove. This end of financial year, make it a Mercedes-Benz. Enjoy GST savings across select new models until June 30. Visit your nearest Mercedes-Benz retailer. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA's forecast showers, 18 today, a shower or two, and 19 tomorrow, partly cloudy Thursday, 20, and same for Friday, 19. Currently, it's 15. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Oh, Jesus, hot in here. Can someone pass the Morford air? Oh, that's better.
When the temperature is too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air, Adelaide's own homegrown family air conditioning company. Morford Air has kept South Australians perfectly comfortable for over 50 years. So when it's too hot or cold to bear, you can always reach for the Morford Air. Look for the bright blue building at 602 Marion Road or visit morfordair.com.au.
Morford.
Hi, Brady Bitt here from Mawson Lakes Mazda with a little secret of how you can get behind the wheel of a new Mazda. You can unlock their end of financial year deals early. You heard right, we can give them to you right now. That's immediate delivery on all makes, models and colours. Plus low-K demos must go. No gimmicks, just early end of financial year deals and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Fair to say most of us have a garage, shed or a spare room that we just put stuff in, but somehow it's turned into a messy pile of half-finished DIY shelving and plastic tubs.
Get your life in order. Go to Sharman Shelving. Instead of heading to the hardware store, buying a shelf in a box. Who designs those screws where you have to do the self-assemble 3-shelf shed storage solution? Well, they were clearly designed to send people insane.
It should actually be listed as a crime against humanity.
Yeah.
The Hague has a special
it should be
section for those kind of people.
Taken to the Hague. You lose 3 hours of your life swearing and trying to build the flimsy thing. Get on to Sharman Shelving. It's always a smart move.
Bill and the team will come out, measure up, design it properly, then deliver and install a custom storage solution that fits your space perfectly, looks schmick and lasts for years.
I don't even know if they're meant to be outside. but I put mine outside after I bought it.
And yours
it
looks like the day you bought it.
I was using it yesterday. It looked brand new. Just knowing where something is and being able to access it is a game changer. Do it once, do it properly, because everyone needs a little Charmin in their life. Take a look on Facebook, Instagram, or visit charminshelving.com.au.
If you need a ute, van or truck, Matt from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide has you covered. Moving house? Moving something too big or messy for your car? Or planning a family road trip? Ask for Matt's 5AA mates rates. Moving trucks big and small, single and dual cab utes, 4x4s with canopies, vans, even 12 to 22 seat buses, all late model and ready to go. Jump online at avis.com.au or call 8241 5200.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
The most frustrating thing about having your car repaired after a collision can be the wait. Sometimes months. At FIVEAA Panel Services, the wait is one thing you won't have to worry about. We've expanded our workshop and our highly skilled team. It means we're better equipped to deliver an outstanding outcome for you and your car. RAA and MTA approved, FIVEAA Panel Services work with most insurance companies. So ask for FIVEAA Panel Services and get back on the road sooner.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
90 minutes to 8, Phil Curry in just a moment. We're going to trial by jury before 8 o'clock. Received a couple of texts from people asking what's going on at the convention centre. There are police everywhere. We're going to be crossing there after 8 o'clock today. It's the oil and gas conference. This is the one that we spoke to the Energy Minister about yesterday. I think he's going to go on with a fake moustache to try and get through the crowd, or not. I think he actually enjoys it, frankly.
Oh no, I think the minister's going to arrive wearing a T-shirt that says "I'm Tom Coots and Tonus. Go your hardest."
Anticipating all sorts
Bring
of
it on.
glue-related silliness as well. Albeit I don't know if the rain will impact that, but I guess we'll find out. Half the fun.
Well, maybe they just need waterproof glue.
Well, yeah,
like the sort of stuff you'd use around the pool edging, that sort of stuff.
Something that really, really leaches carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. There's another incident we're going to cross to now, though. Maddie Stanley for 7 News is at this shooting at Christie Downs that Sapole told us about a short time ago. Maddie, good morning. For our listeners just waking up, what's happened?
Morning, guys. Yeah, police were called here to Nadia Crescent at Christie Downs just before 2 this morning after reports a man had been shot in the leg by a gun. Now, we have recently found out that this was a homemade pen gun. The man's been taken to hospital and police are still yet to talk to him. But, more detectives have since turned up to the scene in the last few moments, and there's still quite a heavy police presence here, police looking for evidence. They've come out with some evidence bags, and I guess just speaking to witnesses and speaking to residents, and we're still yet to get a statement updating from whether any arrests will be made or just the exact circumstances behind it, whether it was an accident or whether it was deliberate. We'll have more information throughout the day and obviously tonight in 7 News.
What even is a pen gun, Maddie?
Well, a pen gun, it can be one of two things. It can be made from a pen and it can be kind of like a slingshot sort of thing, or it can also be a bit more industrial. But they are known to be quite obviously don't have the safety guards, so they can go off pretty easy. So whether the person involved had been fiddling with it and it had gone off, or whether there was something more sinister, we're still yet to see.
All right, fascinating. Maddie, thank you. Madison Stanley for 7 News. You'll see those pictures and we'll find out more on the news tonight. Improvised firearms. I've just had a look. There's the area of law it's covered under. But that's
home 3D printed guns and things like that.
I think a 3D printed gun would be at the more severe end. I'm not sure where this particularly fits or whether this is just shorthand police use for that kind of weapon. But that's a really interesting story. Let's head to Canberra, where it has been beyond interesting. As we said last week, we've covered a lot of federal budgets that have been, well, frankly, boring. This one didn't bore anyone. Phil Curry, the political editor of the Australian Financial Review, joins us now on 5AA Breakfast. Phil, good morning to you.
Morning, fellas.
Phil, this is where your experience is going to be invaluable, because you're in a position, having had first-hand experience for 3 decades now, to compare budgets. How would you rate this one for shock value and the controversy that it generated?
Oh, it's up there. There's been 3 or 4 like this in the last 30 years. 1996, 2014, the Abbott one, and then probably this one in terms of. I guess if you're rating it on, just deceit, broken promises, the rivals those other two, and in terms of impact it has across the board on people, it's pretty up there as well. So yeah, it's in the probably top 5 over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
In terms of controversy, yes.
So how does Albo win the argument? Like, how does he say? Because he seems to be like everything's changed, all bets are off, the housing crisis is so bad, we needed to act.
Yeah, look, there's two things here. There's two things about this budget, and they're sort of not related. There's the honesty factor. I mean, it's out and out dishonest in terms of this wasn't just sort of some throwaway grab before the election. That we wouldn't do this. They were repeatedly questioned about this, or leading up to the election campaign, during the election campaign. There was no way, cross my heart, we wouldn't do it. Gave reasons why they wouldn't do this. Say on negative gearing, for example, that I interviewed the Prime Minister a week before election day. Said no, it would hurt supply, it actually harm supply, and it would be anti-aspirational stuff. But all the while, they really sort of had a plan at least to do capital gains tax if they got elected. So there's that side of it. Then there's the merit or otherwise of the measures, and are they warranted? So you can all the arguments the government has been making since budget night in why we need to do this, they could have made 18 months ago quite easily. The circumstances haven't changed, in terms of housing affordability and the intergenerational problem and all that sort of stuff. So it was really a case that they didn't want to say it before the election because they're worried about what they're copying now from various groups. So I think it's a case where people just got to sort of pick through it and see what it means for them. And I think the problem they've sort of got from the start is no one's really saying this is a great budget. Even the people who it was aimed at, which are the younger people, they're not saying, "Hey, beauty, I get $4.81 now a week in extra tax. I'm going to up my housing plans to afford better." And I think they're surprised. A lot of the younger people are pretty annoyed. They're pretty cynical at it. They didn't think it did what the government's telling them it's going to do. And we've got this thing where, people, when we were young, we probably, I know I spent all my money on beer, but the
rest I just wasted.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
But a lot of kids, yeah, that's right. A lot of younger people now, because the housing outlook is so bleak, they're far more economically savvy, and they get into shares and ETFs and stuff to try and build a nest egg, and just so they can actually get a housing deposit together. And they've imposed this capital gains tax change on that as well. So they face a minimum 30% tax if they flog their shares. So that they sort of see it as hasn't really done what it's meant to do, and in fact it might have made it even harder. So no one's cheering for this budget from any quarter, and that's a problem.
What's ripe for the picking in terms of things that might not survive this whole sales process, Phil? It would seem the capital gains tax on startups is something that even the government's own budget papers flagged they might be open to discussing.
Yeah.
Is there any other areas that you think might not survive in their current form?
Well, there's a couple. One is extending the capital gains tax changes to all assets rather than just housing. I mean, the original signs coming out of the government in the lead up to the budget was it was a housing problem that they're trying to fix, and they were originally looking at just lowering the discount on housing, so you drive investors away from housing. The whole idea of this was to get investors out of auctions, right? So first home buyers could have a fair crack, and
which is fine, but they've taxed everywhere they'd like to go.
Well, that's right. So there is a growing push to confine the capital gains tax just to auctions. I noticed last night the Treasurer, rolled out a paper from the Treasury saying, we couldn't just do that because investors would then set up companies to buy homes and stuff like this. There's ways around it. So, it sort of sounds like Labor's identified the problem first, but only worked it out as they were going along that they couldn't actually do what they wanted to do. So they've just fired the shotgun down the crowded street and hit everyone. So the other one I think is it gets a bit complicated. Wilbers on trusts, what they've done to trusts. So you might have noticed there's sort of claims about a death tax. So, most people set up trusts, either for business reasons or stuff. But a lot of people, high income earners, you just set up a trust so you pay less tax, right? You use it for income splitting. But there's these trusts called testamentary trusts where you use it to protect the inheritance you're going to hand to your kids. And so there's one called a discretionary trust. So, for example, I may be worried my daughter might be in a marriage, might be marrying some deadbeat who I don't trust, and I reckon he's in it just to get his hands on the inheritance, right? So, or you're worried about if you and your partner die before your kids are old enough to handle the assets, you put in these things called discretionary testamentary trust. So if you die, the trustee basically has control of those assets, and at his or her discretion, helps the kids, pays their school fees or whatever, or keeps the deadbeat from taking half the estate. Now they are now going to tax those at 30%. Right, disbursement. So that's where the death tax comes from. You die, and your inheritance that is now taxed at 30% as it goes to your kids. And the government is saying that's okay. You can still put it in a fixed testamentary trust, which is does the same sort of thing, but there's no protection, legal protection of those trusts. If, say, the family court comes sniffing, the deadbeat, marries your daughter, then runs off and wants to take half, he or she can get his hands on those assets quite easily because the trustee doesn't have guardianship of those assets like they do under a discretionary trust. So these are all sort of complicated things which clearly weren't thought through properly. And there's always examples as to why people are going to lose out. And I suspect they may have to do some work around that too. Otherwise, they're going to stand accused of a death tax, and they're already, their integrity's sort of already shot to pieces, if you like. So, when Albo or Jim Chalmers stands up and says, "Oh no, we're never going to do a death tax," or lift the tax-free exemption on the family home, well, no one's going to believe them as it is.
It's going to be easy doing the next negative ad against the Labor Party, isn't it? Because they give them plenty of material. And quite rightly
so. I mean, they did this in the last term. They did the stage 3 tax cuts. They said they wouldn't touch, and they put a tax on superannuation funds over $3 million. Now, they were easy to do because no one cares about people who have money. Politically they got away with it, but they both were brazenly dishonest acts. Both two things they said they wouldn't do, and now they've done it again. So you start to build a list, and you start to get in a bit of trouble. So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, the news poll came out yesterday. Everyone hated the budget, but the government didn't take a hit at all in terms of its primary vote and the Prime Minister's rating. But we'll just these things could be a slow burn. It's a big risk they've taken.
Yeah, totally. Good on you, Phil. Phil Curry, the national political editor of the Fin Review, coming off a Carlton victory as well. We didn't even get
that's why he sounded up and about.
He did.
Phil. He was up.
He had a bit of a spring in his step. Rebuild over.
8 to 8. Our trial by jury is coming up next.
Thanks, Will. Roads are wet with passing showers. Take it easy on the drive. Leeward Gardens, a breakdown on the freeway outbound near the Crayfors interchange. Good news, no great delays on the freeway this morning. That's nice. Walkerville, Burst Watermain, North East Road near Fuller Street. And Park Home got lights on the blink this morning. Oaklands Road at Marion Road. Camera right now, Charmaine Avenue at Paravista. Need to increase your protein intake? A Porto's the solution. No shaker required. 48 grams of protein from real flame grilled chicken. The quarter chicken meal only at a Porto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
If you're after legendary reliability and safety, get a Toyota forklift. Yep, Toyota is still the world's #1 forklift brand, famous across just about every industry for their reliability and safety. That's the Toyota Forklift Advantage. And with great electric options and branches all over the country, find the right Toyota forklift for you at toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Don't just get a forklift.
Hi, Daniel Talley here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Put simply, we buy homes. We don't charge fees, there's no advertising costs or commissions, none of that. We just make the process of selling your home easy. So if you're looking to downsize and have a home built before the 90s, we'll be able to help you save time, money and the effort it takes to sell. Thinking of downsizing? Visit home.com.au. That's HAUME.com.au.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You can be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job, completewindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
When you're gone, who gets the things that matter most? Like the family business that must go on to support the next generation and the one after that. If you don't plan now, it could get messy. Donlan lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning, from the simplest to the most complex. Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
So I accidentally mentioned my big D obsession in the group chat the other day. Now all the girls are talking about it. Kelly's getting big difference home improvements around to quote on some outdoor blinds. Zoe's thinking about a veranda, and Belle wants it all. She's looking at a full package. Decking, pergola, roller shutters, everything. Stop fighting your big D envy and just go with it. Get Big Difference home improvements around for a free measure and quote. Visit bigdifference.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Bring your home to life from just $1,000 at our famous May Spend and Save. Right now, from just $1,000, you can bring your home to life with beautiful National Tiles for your entire family room and kitchen floors, or all your bathroom walls and floors. Yes, from just $1,000, with all National Tiles reduced. Absolutely no exceptions, but you'll have to be quick. So rush into National Tiles or go online now and save. Conditions apply.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
In the criminal justice system, all defendants are innocent until proven guilty, either by confession, plea bargain, or trial by jury. This is one of those trials.
This is a bit Golden Sack Truck inspired this week. The trial by jury question, $100 worth of Sam Test seafood on the line for someone who calls in and renders a verdict. Doesn't matter what however you see it, you are in the running to win $100 worth of Sam Test seafood. The best quality seafood and best prices. Sam Test Seafood's open 7 days, factory direct, Richmond Road at Richmond. This question is this. It's a simple one. Who's had a worse week? The federal government or local governments?
Well, Charles Sturt did their bit last week.
You're looking at...
Pretty hard in the middle of a federal budget to get a run at any tier of government for doing something bad. So given Phil's accurate account, based on more than 30 years of experience analysing these things, he said this one's well and truly up there. So Charles Sturt Council says, hold my beer.
The tale of the tape is the federal government lied to bring down a budget that seemingly no one likes, even those that would ostensibly benefit from it but don't appear to. The local government fined a charity delivering food to starving kids, and then another local government followed it up today by fining a SA Power Networks worker for standing in a no standing zone for 3 minutes while presumably fixing the power. 8223 0000. Who has had a worse week? The federal government or local governments collectively? 8223 0000. Get calling. Someone who renders their verdict in the next 2 minutes will win a $100 Samtas seafood voucher.
Just to follow up too on the situation our mate Nathan finds himself in, Nathan from SA Power Networks, the contractor, rather, working for SA Power Networks, he said that he immediately appealed the parking ticket, but it's going to take up to 2 weeks to get an outcome. So he will let us know how it pans out.
All right, well, we'll have to wait and see. We will be awarding the Golden Sack Truck by Friday. So this is really who you're more angry at, the jury question this morning. The federal government or local governments of South Australia? Which tier of government has had a worse last 7 days? 7 days takes us back to the federal budget. Let's go to juror number 1, who's in the running to win $100 worth of Samtas seafood. Local governments or the federal government, juror number 1?
Hello.
Yes. Hey, we got there. Yes, there you are, jury number 1.
Sorry, they said I was jury number 2. But anyway, I'll say local government, they make so many wrong decisions and even stuff you don't even hear about.
All right, thank you, jury number 1. That's one vote for local. Jury number 2, local or federal?
I'd have to say federal government's had a worse week because I mean, we haven't had any surprises from the local government, have we? I mean, they're traditionally that bad.
That's a good argument. I don't mind that. Thank you, juror number 2.
The defence of sustained mediocrity.
Juror number 3, good morning. Local or federal?
Oh, it's got to be federal. I mean, at the end of the day, we all know that local government are heartless, incompetent, bumbling idiots. But the federal government are just filled with blatant, straight-out liars who just lie to the electorate and then expect everybody to forgive them.
All right, thank you, juror number 3. Juror number 4, good morning.
Yeah, look, I reckon, guys, federal. There's no hope for them.
All right, thank you, juror number 4. Juror number 5, good morning.
Good morning. Federal government, dogs, they took from us and now they're trying to take from us when we try to help our kids.
Thank you, juror number 5. Just lastly, juror number 6, good morning.
Morning, fellas. Great show again. Definitely local government. Absolutely terrible. About a year ago, I parked on Brighton Road and got a fine for parking there for 37 seconds.
You're kidding.
37 seconds. Brighton Council. Fabulous job, guys. Well done.
How do you even write up a fine that fast?
That's outstanding. What was the verdict in the end?
What's his name in Blazing Saddles? God, the actor. I've totally forgotten his name. He's got the quickest drawer in the West.
Yeah, I can't recall.
How do you do a parking fine in 37 seconds? The result was, say what you like about Charles Sturt Council, they're no Albo Jim Chalmers combination. The feds copped it. Feds for local government too.
Magnificent. That was a good jury. Coming up after 8 o'clock, breaking at 8, and we're going to cross to the Extinction Rebellion protest. Our man Jonathan Edwards is there covering it.
Keep your eyes glued for this one.
Exactly
and your buttocks.
Right. It's coming up next.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers today and 18 with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre.
The Parklands Association says it has no room for idiots in its ranks. It follows revelations yesterday. The family of Premier Peter Malinauskas had been threatened by tree lovers, upset at the felling of almost 600 trees as part of the $45 million North Adelaide Golf Links upgrade. Association President Matt Monty says he's taken down threatening posts from the group's social media, saying the people responsible for those posts are not welcome at future protests.
Absolutely not. So we're actually holding another rally Friday, and I plan to make it very clear from the start. If you are not here to support us in a peaceful and non-violent way, to show your opposition to this redevelopment and future attacks on the Adelaide Parklands, then you can leave right now, because this is not who we are. We don't want these people involved. We don't care if they support what we're doing. If they're going to handle themselves this way, they do not belong in our movement.
3 men have been killed in a shooting at an Islamic centre in San Diego, which authorities in the US are treating as a hate crime. The bodies of 2 teenage suspects found in a vehicle near the mosque. Police believe the people there were 17 and 19 years old. The Islamic Centre's Imam Taha Hussain says their community has never experienced a tragedy like this before.
It is extremely outrageous to target a place of worship.
Police are investigating after a man was injured in a shooting at Christie Downs overnight. They were called to a home on Nadia Crescent at 1:45 this morning. The man sustaining a gunshot wound to his leg. 7 News reporter Madison Stanley says the 27-year-old Evanston man was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
This was a homemade pen gun. The man's been taken to hospital and police are still yet to talk to him, but more detectives have since turned up to the scene in the last few moments, and there's still quite a heavy police presence here. Police looking for evidence. They've come out with some evidence bags.
A man has been charged with murdering a woman and 2 boys at a home in Sydney's southwest. He was arrested at the scene. Police called to what has been described as a particularly violent scene at the house in Campbelltown. Police are trying to track down 3 men who robbed the hotel at One Tree Hill overnight. Alarms activated at the pub on Blacktop Road at 1:10. Senior Constable Liam Bennett says CCTV shows 3 suspects pulling up in a white single cab tray top ute, smashing a window to get inside and stealing alcohol.
I'm hoping that a small group of idiots...
We'll come back to that story. There's a growing outcry. The Albanese government's capital gains tax changes will wipe out start-up businesses. Former Labor advisor Lachlan Harris has told The Age he supports removing the tax discount on housing, but warns it will discourage people from starting a small business, stifle the economy and hurt productivity. Daniel Burt at Pitcher Partners says the impact will be devastating for business.
That's where the uproar has been since budget night. The private businesses in particular, who may have found a business, many, many years ago, who have put blood, sweat and tears into their business, and when they do sell, they may be for up to 47%.
Australians are increasingly trading the anxiety of fear of missing out for JOMO, the joy of missing out, and it's driven by Gen Z. They're increasingly opting for a quiet night in to reduce stress and improve well-being. Communication expert and Gen Z coach Madeline Miller says it's their weekly digital detox.
They're very into self-care and they're constantly connected online. So JOMO seems to be a way for them to disconnect and look after themselves.
Nothing better than a night in. Briefly, in other news, Defence Minister Richard Marles will deliver a key speech at the Lowy Institute analysing Australia's military strategy. And at least 100 deaths have now been reported as a result of the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Night in or night out, Tom Wren?
Night in, I think. Yeah, much more enjoyable, especially this time of year with the weather. Let's start with some footy now. Brad Scott admits he's probably never been more animated than at quarter time of Essendon's loss against Fremantle. With the microscope on the Bombers coach, he's told Fox Footy the effort hasn't been good enough.
What I don't think any coach can accept is a lack of commitment to the contest, because that doesn't require any talent. It just requires a mindset. So that was the most disappointing thing about our first quarter.
The Bombers face fellow cellar dwellers Richmond, West Coast and Carlton over the next 3 weeks in what is set to decide Scott's fate. There's also talk Zach Merritt again wants out of Essendon. And Adelaide's players will train in a few hours' time. The session's set to be crucial for Taylor Walker, Riley Philthorpe and Callum Archie as they put their hands up to play in Thursday night's blockbuster against Hawthorn in Tasmania. Well, there's reports this morning Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City once this season wraps up. He's been at the helm for 10 years and has won 17 major trophies in his time. But they look like they'll fall just short of claiming another EPL title after Arsenal had a 1-0 win against Burnley this morning to move 5 points clear of City. To cricket, Aussie skipper Pat Cummins and Travis Head will play in the IPL finals after their Sunrisers Hyderabad had a 5-wicket win against the Chennai Super Kings overnight. Cummins took 3 wickets for the match. A welcome result for Aussie Alex de Minaur after he came from a set down to win in 3 in his opening round match at the Hamburg Open against Argentina's Francisco Cerundolo. But fellow Aussie Rinky Hijikata lost in straight sets. Mixed results too at a women's event in Strasbourg with Daria Kazatkina having a win, but Talia Gibson lost. And in some basketball, the Cleveland Cavaliers are through to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's after taking out a winner-take-all Game 7 against the Detroit Pistons, 125-94. They'll now take on the New York Knicks, with that series beginning tomorrow morning, while the San Antonio Spurs are up against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the Western Conference Final Series, which begins this morning. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Rennie. Now, with some rain around, here's how your drive's going around Adelaide today.
Morning there. Got the odd passing shower this morning. Take it easy on greasy roads in a few spots today. We've got Watermine at Walkerville to look out for. This one's on North East Road near Fuller Street. Leeward Gardens, a breakdown on the freeway outbound just near the Crafers interchange. But good news, no delays on the freeway this morning. But do have a few delays at Park Home. Got lights on the blink there. Marion Road at Oaklands Road. Camera at Dunrobin Road at Hove. Get the key reserve at My Car Tire and Auto. Visit mycar.com.au. Call 13 13 28. My Car Tire and Auto. People first. Adelaide's most accurate traffic. On 5AA.
Showers at 18 today, a shower or two tomorrow, 19, partly cloudy Thursday and 20, and same for Friday, 19. Currently 15, 5AA, always Adelaide.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Get into Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes and test drive the all-new Mitsubishi ASX.
European-style design looks, cutting-edge technology and a huge price drop now from $34,990 drive away.
Plus, every new Mitsubishi ASX includes the renowned Mitsubishi 10-year new car warranty and 10-year cap price servicing.
So head into Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes and save big on the all-new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away.
You can rent a little, you
You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot. Some swear jars collect coins, but at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, their swear jar collects promises.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I swear that all deadlines and production will be conducted efficiently and effectively.
Hi, I'm Amy, your first point contact at Buy Urban, and I swear to take all of your details and your wish list to pass on to our amazing team.
For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Stay informed, get involved. 5AA, always Adelaide.
Go on, just walk away. Knockdown, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
10 after 8. Remiss of me not to have mentioned that fixture 2 of the World Cup of South Australia is coming up this half hour.
Oh, yes.
We move to a different quadrant of the bracket. Yesterday was food and drink. Today, well, we'll find out very, very shortly. Paddy's got the envelopes. We'll find out what case who we're having to argue on behalf of, and then it's up to you, folks. The first to 3 out of 5 calls will see that place, object, thing, or person or food go through to the next round. So stay listening. The 5AA World Cup of South Australia is coming up a little bit later this half hour. We're also going to be off to the convention centre with the oil and gas conference that's taking place there, kicking off, and it is kicking off in a big way protest-wise. People driving past keep texting us, why are there so many police cars at the convention centre? Because there's a lot of protest action.
Last time this conference was held, we had the bridge dangler that necessitated the changes to the protest laws where now major public nuisances are prohibited. So if there's anything of that nature happening, this will be a significant test case potentially for the anti-nuisance protest laws that the state government brought down.
Yeah. The other thing we're going to be doing is chatting with the Chief Public Health Officer, Nicola Spurrier, is going to tell us the bike crash that she had. Is everyone except Stephen Marshall from the emergency whatever they were called, the action committee that ran us during COVID, they've all had bike accidents, haven't they? Grant Stevens did.
The commissioners had 2 from memory.
Yeah. Nicola Spurrier.
It's almost like the curse of the state management committee, isn't it?
Yeah, the state management. That's the one. Right. They're all having bike-related incidents post-COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's go breaking note.
Well, a short one, but a big one this morning. We alluded to this the other day when we were speculating about the list of candidates for the next governor, one of them being the aforementioned Police Commissioner, Grant Stevens. But I've had it put to me on good authority by people in the know that Natasha Stott-Despoja will be announced as the next governor of South Australia. I understand that an announcement is imminent, probably within the next few weeks, maybe sooner. But former leader of the Australian Democrats. She led the Royal Commission into Domestic Violence. Since leaving politics, she's done a lot of work for the United Nations. She's well regarded across politics. She's got friends on the Liberal side, friends among the Labor Party. She's seen as a sort of pleasant, likeable someone from the political centre. I don't think that there will be any hue and cry about the fact that she had a previous career in party politics. She's at a stage in her life where she's in a position to grab the job with both hands, and I think that she'll probably continue a lot of the work that Her Excellency Frances Adamson has been doing in the education space, the sort of stuff that she's been championing around girls, getting girls into STEM and engineering, a lot of that sort of stuff. So, we may yet be proven wrong, but well and truly the smart money is on Natasha Stott-Despoja becoming the next governor.
I don't have a problem with Natasha Stott-Despoja, and I think everything you said about where she sits politically, and I don't think people feel particularly, in a politically charged world that we're currently in. But I did like that our entire history of South Australian governors had nothing to do with politics. And I wonder what this now means about the future of the role.
Oh, look, I don't think any government of either the Labor or Liberal persuasion would be so sort of self-interested as to start treating it as like a sort of... Okay,
like an ambassadorial role?
Yeah, yeah.
I hope not.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, it does. It does. But it's been easier to this point going, well, we just don't do politics. Politics doesn't get you there.
There's precedent for it in other states, though, and federally.
Yeah, there is.
Although
not in South Australia.
The one that exists federally is a particularly bad one because it was the Bill Hayden square-up for having been the drover's dog who could have led the Labor Party to victory, and he had to get out of the way for Bob Hawke. And that was like, don't worry, mate, we'll make you Foreign Minister, then Governor-General. This is different, though. And the fact that she's from a political party that doesn't even exist anymore. So it's...
Yeah. No, I take what you say. There's just part of me that I liked that this was a role that always had no relationship to people in politics.
Yeah.
But I don't have a problem with Natasha just sort of personally.
If the other speculation doing the rounds is true too, Grant Stevens is going to have bigger fish to fry as the future chairman of the Adelaide Football Club.
This is a double-barreled breaking
well,
at 8.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Who's been brought in. He's good in a crisis, and the Adelaide Football Club has been known to have the odd one over the course of the journey. So
who knows? That's all speculation as well.
All right. Well, he's going to be on tomorrow.
I'm going to try to nail him to the wall.
Yeah, let's nail him to the wall.
And ended up accidentally being 2 for the price of 1, didn't it?
Yeah, that was quite remarkable.
A lot of that is just theorising. I mean, there's plenty of other people on the Crows board who would be more than capable. But in terms of profile, he's without a doubt,
especially with a big part of the role,
the biggest name on the board now.
The big part of that role is you're the public face, and he's been the public. He's a beloved public face of both the police force and when he was running the state during COVID. He was the one that sort of came out with it untarnished, I think.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty compelling case.
All will be revealed. But there are 2 decisions that have to be made and made fast because John Olsen's definitely stepping down next year.
Well, he wouldn't.
And the governor's definitely leaving in October, I think.
He wouldn't want to stuff it up because that would be relationship ending. All right, now let's go to Jonathan Edwards for 7 News at 5AA, who's at the convention centre where the Extinction Rebellion protest. I saw some video a short time ago, Jono. Are they still setting up, or are we into full street theatre mode now?
We are into full street theatre mode. However, the number of police heavily outweigh the protesters this morning. We've got a group of around 30 that are singing their tunes, beating their drums as, I guess some of the world's most influential energy providers, consultants, politicians, you name it, are walking in. No trouble as yet, and it has literally just pissed out. I had to check if I could say pissed out on radio, but that's the only adjective I could use to describe what happened. And they are absolutely soaked, and they are still continuing to beat their drum and play as loud music as they possibly can to put forward their message to those walking past, but it's not really influencing anyone at the moment. But the level of police is something that I don't think we've seen here in the CBD for a while. The convention centre completely surrounded. We've got a long line of police standing in front of the protesters. So if anything does kick off, I am well and truly sure it'll be solved and stopped very quickly.
So what are some of the slogans, Jono? What are they chanting? What are they saying?
It's all anti-gas at the moment, which I found pretty interesting, and a lot of the same old. No glue yet, no acetone being used, no one's hanging from any bridges just yet, but the morning is still young.
There's a giant banner. They've put real thought into one of their banners. It says F off.
Oh.
Yeah, correct.
What do you think that means, Jono?
I'm not sure. I might have to consult the English dictionary. There's also frack off. Which I don't mind.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's clever.
We're working on it. But
probably the first time someone have had a shower in weeks with the rainfall.
Well, I tell you what, Mother Nature is putting more of a protest than they are at the moment. So there you go.
Has the Energy Minister turned up yet, Jono?
No, I have not seen the Honourable Tom Koutsantonis yet. I'm really keen to see him, and get his reaction to it. But I think he might be going through an underground car park. So, if you're listening,
I think
live commentary would be great.
Despite his checkered driving history, I reckon overwhelmingly South Australians would love to see him arrive in his Monaro chucking donuts on the forecourt.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Hey, in all seriousness, though, John, it looks like they're all pretty well behaved. I mean, everyone's got a right to
correct.
protest in this country, and their message, whether you agree with it or not, they've got a right to. And so long as they're not doing anything stupid, which it doesn't appear they are at the moment.
No, absolutely not. It's all very well tamed. They've got police liaisons. They're all doing the right thing, and maybe the people from Possum Park could learn a thing or two.
Yeah. Well,
gee, some of them will be double booked today. What do? You change yourself to a bulldozer, or do you go and hang around in the forecourt of the convention centre?
Well, it's a full slate, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Thank you, John. We'll see those pictures
about gas.
tonight. John Edwards.
It's not all right
7 News
now.
and 5AA.
In fact, it's gas. That'd be a good chant, wouldn't it?
Come up with your best gas chant.
Yeah.
8223
right now.
Text us on 0480081395. Do you reckon this is how many issues do you think Extinction Rebellion and One Nation have in common? This is their one joint. Hang on, they're both anti-fracking in the southeast, aren't they? This is a real moment. They could put maybe a membership drive on there at Extinction Rebellion. They're on a unity ticket.
It is hard to keep up sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, they're on a unity ticket when it comes to fracking in the southeast.
Well, you might see him down there.
Absolutely.
Corey might glue himself to something. Not with those rod and gun trousers that he wears.
20 minutes after.
Not reckon a perfectly good pair of $300 chinos.
No, exactly right. All right, let's check traffic.
Morning there. If you're passing showers, take it easy on the drive in. Look out for a smash at Kernlight Gardens at the moment. Goodwood Road near Grange Road. Quite big delays inbound through there. Walkerville, more delays too with the Burst Water Main, North East Road near Fuller Street, and Parcom lights on the blink there. The intersection of Oaklands Road at Marion Road, just near the shopping centre. Camera right now, Charmaine Avenue at Paravista. There's plenty of room for women in construction. If you've been thinking about a career in the trades but not sure where to start, take the Trade Up quiz to find your perfect fit. Tradeup.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
The debutante, Anastasopoulos.
Yes, well done, Rowie.
Timmy Ginabar. Can get him wrong a bit. I've heard a few wrong ones from him, but...
That's a stitch up.
Stitched me. Adelaide's only local sports show.
I hope he kicks 4. He has 38 possessions. And you've got to say his name 38 times.
It's going to be a tricky night.
The 5AA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Every bathroom comes with a dark side. Mould. It sneaks into grout. But what if it had nothing to sneak into? What if you chose Mr. Wet Wall instead of tiles for your bathroom and wet areas? It costs less and there's no scrubbing grout. Because with Mr. Wet Wall, there is no grout. Just a smooth, stylish surface. Easy to clean and stunning to look at. So why wouldn't you Mr. Wet Wall? MrWetWall.com.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. If you've had solar on your roof for 10 years, you would understand the big feed-in tariffs have pretty much disappeared. That's why NRG Solar will tell you the best way forward is to combine your existing or new solar system with battery storage. Storing the excess energy your solar makes during the day to use it at night is a game changer. NRG Solar helps you upgrade smarter with solutions designed to target zero power bills. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
Your business has most likely been targeted by a cyber attack. You just don't know it yet. Often the future attack hides quietly in your system, watching, waiting, learning how your business works. That's how most attacks start. FXIT helps Australian businesses find threats early before they become crippling. Don't be the easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at fx.com.au/protect.
Your old hot water system can drive as much as 40% of your energy bill. Fortunately, you can upgrade to something that's 70% cheaper to run thanks to Right Price. They're the leaders in heat pumps and installation. Now's the time to upgrade and save money on a more efficient hot water system and take advantage of government incentives and free installation. Reduce your energy costs today with a heat pump from Right Price. Make the switch with Right Price Hot Water.
At Right Price, heating and cooling, you can get the price right at Right Price.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
5AA's World Cup of SA.
Match day 2 of the 5AA Breakfast World Cup of South Australia. Yesterday, the Coopers Pale Ale defeated the Frog Cake in the food quadrant of the bracket.
I tell you what, that was as one-sided a contest, I reckon, as Germany v Curacao, which is looming in the knockout stage.
Well, the
World Cup.
The tough thing for the Frog Cake was that people were ringing in voting for Pale Ale who didn't drink beer, which was always a difficult look. Now, it's places today, places. So if you're following along on our social media, the bracket, we've gone from food to places, and the places that are facing off this morning is Barossa Valley up against Victor Harbour.
Ooh.
Now, we've been handed envelopes. We never know who we're going to be arguing on behalf of. Paddy walks in with them and he hands them to us, and then we make the case, and the first to get 3 callers through goes through to the next round. Barossa Valley or Victor Harbour? I got Victor Harbour.
Well, I'm feeling pretty confident.
Do you want to go first?
I got the Barossa. Where do you start? Okay. World-class wine region. Everybody knows that. Huge variety of wineries and cellar doors with over 150 wineries and around 80 cellar doors. You can tour everything from tiny boutique producers to big iconic names such as Penfolds and Henschke. Stunning vineyard scenery, food culture, rich history, German-Australian heritage. And you can hear it in the names as well. Krondorf, so many pointers to the contribution of the German and Silesian migrants. Easy getaway from Adelaide. You can be from here to Thorn Clark on the edge of Angaston in just over an hour. I feel sorry for you, Will. Where's the best tasting room in Victor Harbour?
So you done? You rest your case?
Yeah, I'll rest my case.
Here's my argument for Victor Harbour. Those South Australians possessed of all the experience of having travelled the world, having the financial means to decide where they're going to go and live and spend their autumn years, where do they all go? Where do people who have been everywhere go?
Costa del Sol.
They go to Victor Harbour. People dream about the day they can finally retire to the beautiful south of South Australia. They can go to Victor Harbour. And I'll ask you this, David Penberthy, how many whales can you see in the Barossa Valley? I'll tell you, 0, zilch, none.
How many algal blooms can you see in the Barossa Valley?
Now, look, I haven't done a water treatment count recently, but I'm having on good authority that Victor Harbour is stunning at the moment. 8223 0000. Victor Harbour or Barossa Valley? What are you voting for, folks? World Cup of South Australia.
One thing you've never heard in Tanunda is someone standing there in front of the RSL going, is that a bit of Karenio Mickey Motoy down there on the grass?
Hey, don't slur an entire community on the basis of a very transient, non-toxic, ocean-born issue.
You got the Mallee staff of crib notes in front of you there.
8223 0000. Victor Harbour or the Barossa Valley? What will go on to round 2 in the places section of the bracket? Let's go to Dean in Craigmore with the first vote. Remember, first to 3. Dean in Craigmore, good morning.
Yeah, definitely Barossa, mate. Victor's got beautiful beaches, but it's too bloody cold to go to them.
Dean, thank you. Pam in Cumberland Park, Barossa or Victor Harbour?
Victor Harbour.
Thank you, Pam. 1-1. Raymond in Salisbury, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, listeners. Barossa Valley, hands down.
Barossa Valley, 2-1. Okay, so it's 2-1. We need one more for Barossa Valley or two more for Victor Harbour, and it will progress to the next round.
Victor is great. I was just deliberately. No.
This is the bit. This is the bit. We're handed an envelope. We have to make the case, and then it's up to the listeners to determine what they'd like to see go on to the next round.
As Hillary Clinton said, Will, I went low, you went high. You weren't trash talking the Barossa.
No.
Well, you were much more dignified.
There's not much you can say that's bad about the Barossa.
That's right.
8223 is the number 2. Well, one more vote if it's Barossa Valley, 2 more if it's Victor Harbour that'll go through to the next round. This is our first places face-off on the bracket. Of course, we did food yesterday. We'll do people another day. I reckon people might be on the agenda tomorrow. And then things, which is the most wild card round of all. Kat in Nova Gardens, good morning.
Yes, hi. I'm voting Victor Harbour.
Victor, so it's 2-2.
2-2.
Next call through.
Wow.
We'll decide whether Victor Harbour or Barossa Valley goes through to the next round. Victor.
One criticism I would make of the Barossa is it's too change-averse. Like whenever there's
they're getting that new hotel there, though, now, which will be excellent.
With a bit of local hue and cry, though.
Yeah. The final caller is Russell in Lockleys. Russell, who's going through to the next round?
It's got to be the Barossa boys. Come on.
Barossa Valley it is. Continues on. Victor Harbour is out of the World Cup of South Australia. Tomorrow morning, which person will be eliminated?
They really want it.
World Cup of South Australia. Looking forward to
Ricky Martin for joining the competition as well.
It's good to have him on board.
Yeah, absolutely.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers today, a top of 18 with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre.
5 people, including 2 teenage gunmen, have died in a shooting at the largest mosque in San Diego in the US. Authorities say they're treating the attack on the Islamic Center as a hate crime. The suspected shooters, both believed to be teenagers, found dead in a vehicle in a nearby street. One of their victims was a security guard. The mosque, also part of a school children led out at the height of the drama. 2 boys and a woman have been found dead in a southwest Sydney home in what police are describing as a particularly violent scene. The bodies of the boys, aged 4 and 12, and a 46-year-old woman inside the Campbelltown property. A man in his 40s charged with 3 counts of domestic violence murder. 9 reporter Jack Hahn says investigations are ongoing.
Police say that in somewhat of a strange twist, it was not neighbours, but it was the suspect himself who called 000 officers racing to this quiet suburban street in Campbelltown, speaking with this man, going inside a property and making this disturbing discovery.
A man has been arrested after allegedly stealing water meters in the Barossa yesterday. Police called to King Way at 4 p.m. Reports a man removing water meters from houses being built. Witnesses gave police details of a VW hatch. Police stopping the car on Old Kapunda Road. The driver, a 61-year-old man of no fixed address, allegedly returning a positive result for meth. Blood supplies are running low, so much so an urgent call has gone out for donations nationwide. David Bruce with the details.
Australian Red Cross Lifeblood says more donors are desperately needed to prevent blood stocks falling to critical levels and to protect the blood supplies hospitals rely on for cancer treatment, surgery, trauma care and childbirth. The aim is to secure 13,000 type A and O blood donations in the next 7 days, 450 of those here in South Australia. With the cold and flu season already underway, Lifeblood expects sustained pressure on supply in the months ahead. People who don't know their blood type are also encouraged to donate. To book a donation, call 13 14 95 or you can visit lifeblood.com.au.
The Albanese government is struggling to contain growing backlash against its budget measures. Labor reining in capital gains, negative gearing and family trusts. Small businesses and even former Labor advisors have criticised the changes, arguing they'll hurt the economy and productivity. The opposition leader, Angus Taylor, says the government needs to take responsibility.
This is, I think, a disaster for small business in this country. You know, small business is the key to growing, to employing, to the strength of our local communities. And if you undermine small business, you undermine the country. And that's exactly what this is about.
Speculation continues on who the next governor of South Australia will be after the current incumbent, Frances Adamson, declined an extension of her term. On Breaking at 8, Pembo says the new governor expected to be announced within weeks.
I've had it put to me on good authority by people in the know that Natasha Stott Despoja will be announced as the next governor of South Australia. Understand that an announcement is imminent, probably within the next few weeks, maybe sooner. But, former leader of the Australian Democrats. She led the Royal Commission into domestic violence.
Turning to 5AA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And Tom Wren, a number of Crows vying to be picked this week.
Yeah, it's a big morning, isn't it, Matty, for several players as they try to put their hand up to be picked for that match against Hawthorn on Thursday night. Taylor Walker, Riley Thilthorpe and Callum Archie could all return for that match. Walker and Thilthorpe were both injured last week, while Archie has spent the last couple of weeks playing in the Sandful after suffering a pair of hamstring injuries since arriving at West Lakes. Teammate Sam Berry telling Roy and Timmy G Archie is close to returning.
I think he's a chance as well. And again, another week just growing with confidence in the body, I think. So, his hand will be right up there.
Meantime, GWS is set to offer captain Toby Green a big money offer to remain in Sydney. The 32-year-old reportedly to be offered a 3-year deal valued at more than $2 million. Let's go to tennis. Alex de Minaur has come from a set down to snap a two-match losing streak, rather. The Australian has been fighting for form ahead of next week's French Open. The world number 9 beating Argentine Francisco Cerundolo in the first round at the Hamburg Open.
I miss that feeling, that's for sure, being able to kind of celebrate after a tough win. So, it was a great performance today, mentally staying in the moment.
Aussie Pat Cummins has put in a brilliant performance to guarantee his Sunrisers Hyderabad will play in the IPL finals after he took 3 for 28 from his 4 overs to help guide his team to a 5-wicket win against the Chennai Super Kings. The Sunrisers now assured of playing finals along with the Royal Challengers Bengaluru and Gujarat Titans, and Cummins says it was a great result.
Got one more game, hopefully, give us a chance for the top 2, but either way we're into the qualifying and the real stuff starts now. So a lot of hard work. Ishan as well, captain for half of it, so he deserves a lot more credit than myself. Good feeling in this squad.
And Arsenal has one hand on the English Premier League trophy after a 1-0 win against Burnley this morning, and it sees them move 5 points clear of Manchester City. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Rennie. Now, your drive to work and school this morning.
A few passing showers. Take it easy on the drive. Kernelight Gardens, a smash to look out for this morning. Goodwood Road near Grange. Right, got delays inbound. Also got delays inbound too with a burst water main at Walkerville this morning. North East Road near Fuller Street. She's down to one lane, so that'll be the cause of that one. And Park Hong traffic lights getting fixed at the moment. Oaklands Road at Manarine Road. Early morning camera, Folkestone Road, Dover Gardens. Fiji Airways is on sale now. Fly direct from Adelaide to Fiji, starting from $309 one way. Book at FijiAirways.com or your local travel agent. Conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Showers today, 18, a shower or two, 19 tomorrow, partly cloudy Thursday and 20, same for Friday, 19. Currently 15, 5AA, always Adelaide.
Looking for car cover? Search Allianz Comprehensive Essentials Car Insurance. Get what you need for a price you'll love. Choose Allianz. Allianz. Before buying, read the PDS. Go to our website for PDS and TMD.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The things you value deserve the best protection. Your car, your tools, your weekend projects. Alpha Industries garages and sheds will keep them safe from rain, hail and the harsh Australian sun. Made from genuine Australian blue scope steel and fully welded for strength and durability, built with you in mind. South Australian owned and operated for over 40 years, Alpha Industries builds garages and sheds that work as hard as you do. Explore the range and ask for a quote today at alphaindustries.com.au.
Hi, Brett Ibbott here from Mawson Lakes Mazda with a little secret of how you can get behind the wheel of a new Mazda. You can unlock their end of financial year deals early. You heard right, we can give them to you right now. That's immediate delivery on all makes, models and colours. Plus low-K demos must go. No gimmicks, just early end of financial year deals and the best customer support for you and your shiny new Mazda. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Bob Jane T-Mart's Price Buster sale is now on, with thousands of tyres and wheels discounted. Buy 3 selected Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumho, J-Trax or Hankook tyres and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $200 instant cashback on selected tyres. Plus, up to 40% off selected Monster alloy wheels. No one beats our best tyre price guarantee. At Bob Jane T-Mart's, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
When you're hosting a family Christmas party, you might start with a go-to roast, a drama-proof seating plan, and that gravy recipe that's a family secret. But those in the know find all the answers in the aisles at Pal's. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can make sure you have the best wines, beers, and spirits for everyone. And great gift ideas too, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
At Holistic Care SA, we're focused on capacity building, not just care. We help people with disability gain the support, skills and confidence for independent living. Whether it's creating a resume, catching a bus to the footy, or learning to cook independently in your home or in one of ours, Holistic Care SA makes those milestones happen. For a friendly chat about supported independent living, visit holisticcaresa.com.au, because everyone deserves the chance to become who they're meant to be.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
19 minutes to 9. The head of the Chief Public Health Officer, Nicola Spurrier, will join us very shortly to talk a little bit about her near-miss biking accident that sounds pretty darn scary. We had some terrific calls earlier from people that were sharing their own examples of biking accidents, and we're happy to hear yours on 8223 0000. And Paddy hit me with this during the break. I wasn't aware of this. Round 10 of this AFL season was the first time in the history of Australian rules football that Geelong, the Gold Coast Suns, Carlton and the West Coast Eagles have all won during the same round. Never happened before.
Well,
it's never happened before.
You think every permutation had happened by
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more permutations that have never happened before of sides that have...
Who worked this out? Stephen Hawking?
I don't know. So got us thinking...
He's not with us anymore, is he?
For the next 20 minutes, hit us with your random useless stat. Hit us with just what's a stupid, useless statistic you know about something. 8223 0000, or text them in on 0448 08 1395. You've got a useless stat for us, folks.
I tell you what, Ben Jordan will be licking his lips.
No, well, he's all useful, I would argue.
Well, that's true.
Have you got a useless stat?
My brain's filled with all sorts of garbage.
Yeah.
Not one that I can readily think of. Sorry, Will.
How about this? How about this completely useless stat? So at the end of the Second World War, the 4 largest air forces on Earth were the US, the UK, the Soviet Union. Who was in 4th?
At the end of the Second World War, the US, the UK,
Soviet Union,
Australia.
Australia was 4th, the 4th largest air force on planet Earth at the conclusion of the Second World War.
How are we going now?
Bit smaller now. More expensive too, I suspect.
We're trying to work out before statistically how many members of the former state coordinating committee during COVID have been injured in bicycle accidents. We found out that number has risen to 2. We know that the police commissioner has had a couple of scrapes on his treadly. The same thing happened to Professor Nicola Spurrier, who joins us now as Chief Public Health Officer and hitherto unknown cycling nut. Professor Spurrier, good morning.
Good morning.
Terrible that this happened. We're so glad that you managed to get through, but, geez, it must have been a terrifying ordeal.
Yeah, it was just awful, actually, and even the sort of psychological trauma. It takes a while to work through as well. And I've been riding a bike for years and, like many people, we rode bikes to school as kids. And more recently, I love being out on a road bike, and I've had a little bit of a foray doing triathlons as well, which is just fun. So, yes, I was out on my road bike. It was a Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and I thought I'm just going to head down to Glenelg and get a coffee. And I'm not a fast cyclist, and I take things cautiously because I'm always watching out, of course, for cars. And I've thought about what happened, and there wasn't really anything else I could have done. I had a light on my bike and a light-coloured top on, and was heading down it was in a 50k zone. There was no other cars on the road except the one that hit me, and came up to a roundabout, and nothing on my right, slowed right down, double-checked, nothing on my right, and then on the left a car was coming, but they were slowing down and almost came what I would have thought, I thought they were just going to stop, and by that time I would be in the roundabout, which I was because I had the right-of-way, and then they accelerated right into me, and the point I could look down and my wheel was there and the bonnet was there and there was nowhere I could go, and I just, and it all went black actually, and I've gone across the bonnet. I thought I just rolled over the bonnet and I crashed on the ground, but when my husband came and showed me where I landed, I was actually way on the other side of the bonnet, and someone yelled, she flew right over as they were talking to the police officer. So, I did injure myself, or was injured. I landed down on my left side very hard, ended up with some pelvic fractures and a rib fracture, smashed up my shoulder and my finger, and fortunately had a helmet on and my head was okay.
Oh, crikey. Are you back on the bike now?
I've had a little ride on my little commuter bike, but my bike also was damaged and is considered not rideable, and I just haven't had time, or I just sort of need the mental focus to go and get a new bike. But my shoulder's strengthening up now. I'm back swimming and back running, which I absolutely love, and I couldn't run for quite a few months, and I'm so loving that. So in the next couple of weeks, I will be going out and getting a new road bike. I've just replaced my Garmin, and I'll be back doing some cycling. But I'm going to do it on bike tracks to start with, just as I build up my confidence a bit more.
Yeah, there's a lot of lovely tracks through the parklands and, around the eastern side of town. And Adelaide's good now. Like, even you think like along the side of the Southern Expressway, there's around Glenthorne Park, a lot of new tracks to be explored. But that's terrible that it happened. But crikey, you must have had a few moments where you've thought how close you came to actually, really doing a number on yourself. Oh,
absolutely. I just feel I'm one of the lucky ones because I know people that have had much worse injuries. I couldn't move my legs to start with, and I thought, oh no, I've got a spinal injury, and someone tried to take my helmet off, and I said, no, leave it, don't move my neck. Yeah. I had a lot of pain in the pelvis, and I thought, well, I might have ruptured my spleen. You know too much as a doctor.
Yeah, totally.
I'm bleeding out. I need that ambulance to come get that drip in my arm. But the real thing that when I thought I'm going to die was my kids. I've got 3 kids, and I thought, how are they going to cope? It's just going to be terrible for them. And I think this is the message I want to tell people. When you see cyclists on the road, they are a human being. They are a mother, a father, brother, sister. They're part of a team, and it has this reverberating effect on everybody. In fact, my daughter, who saw the media yesterday, she said it just brought back this awful feeling of when I'd rung her and said I've had this accident, and those scars get left on people.
Yeah, completely. So I think back to when the Live Golf Pro-Am was on, and Tom Wren described how nervous he was teeing off in front of John Rahm, one of the best golfers in the world. How did the clinicians go dealing with the chief public health officer?
They were very nice to me at Flinders, actually. But no, they just treated me like an ordinary patient, and that's what I would expect as well. So no, they were very good. They looked after me well.
Your former colleague, Professor Spurrier, Grant Stevens, the commissioner, he tells a funny story that when he was knocked off his bike, I think it was down at Semaphore, the police turned up And there was a young constable who sort of standing over him, and he's going, "Are you right, mate?" And then he twigs and he goes, "Sorry, I mean, are you right, Commissioner?"
There we go. But look, at the end of the day, even though we have these positions, we're all just the same as an ordinary human being, an ordinary person, ordinary citizen in South Australia. And that's why I thought, well, if I can explain to people what it was like for me at this week, because this is Road Safety Week.
Yeah.
Just an extra reminder for people just to keep a lookout on the road for pedestrians or cyclists or motorcyclists.
Yeah, 100%. Good on you for sharing that story, because it is for the public good, and it's clearly something that has motivated you throughout your storied career, Professor Spurrier, our Chief Public Health Officer. Thanks for joining us this morning.
We're getting a lot of fantastic, useless stats through. We're going to collate them and come back with some after the break, but you can call in with yours as well on 8223 000. In fact, let's not make John wait. We'll take John now from Ascot Park. What's your useless stat, John?
Oh, well, the first one would be that had to be an anti-vax ran into Nicholas Spurrier, surely. But my that is the amount of
I think John's been let down by his phone there.
John,
sorry.
Your phone connection is meant you will never know John's useless stat, unfortunately. Thankfully, there's lots on the text line that we will know right after the break.
Morning there. Walkerville burst water main causing a few dramas with delays. Northeast Road near Fuller Street, she's down one lane too. Parkholm lights getting fixed. Oaklands Road at Marion Road. They're still sorting out a breakdown at Leeward Gardens. It's on the freeway outbound near the Crafers interchange. Early morning camera today, Wantana Avenue, Gillis Plains. This end of financial year, make it a Mercedes-Benz. Enjoy GST savings across select new models until June 30. Visit your nearest Mercedes-Benz retailer. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. When it comes to power bills, NRG Solar understands that South Australian businesses are feeling the pinch too. The Cheaper Home Battery program isn't just for homeowners. Eligible businesses can access those savings as well. NRG Solar takes a consultative approach with commercial customers, starting with how your business uses power, then designing a solar and battery solution that makes financial sense. Talk to NRG Solar and see what a solar and battery solution can do for your business. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
City Discount Tires. Get saving now with City Discount Tires. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value. City Discount Tires.
Is your outdoor area living up to its potential? If not, speak to Luba House and transform your outdoor area with an opening and closing roof that's ready for next summer. An SA family-owned business, Luba House do everything. Planning, design, council approvals, local manufacturing and installation, so you'll have peace of mind it's done right. Don't wait any longer. Find out more with a free design, measure and quote. Bring your outdoor area to life with Luba House. luvahouse.com.au.
When you're gone, who gets the things you've worked hard all your life for? Like the family farm, the holiday home, or your cherished trailer sailor. If you don't plan now, it could be messy when you're gone. Donlan Lawyers specialise in wills and estate planning. From the simplest to the most complex, Donlan Lawyers will give effect to your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
There are many reasons why Steinborner Automotive is well worth the trip, with over 400 cars in stock across 10 yards in Gawler, Barossa and Clare, including Steinborner Mitsubishi and Yuri Utpa, with a great selection of the best value new demo and low kilometre Triton, Pajero, Sport, ASX and Outlander. Along with outstanding service from our award-winning staff, you know it's well worth a trip to Steinborner Mitsubishi. View our whole range of Mitsubishi at steinborner.com.au.
Are the potatoes done?
30 seconds.
What about the desserts?
For over 12,000 South Australians, the most important meal of the day is from Meals on Wheels.
Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Roger. How are you? Behind the meals and behind the wheels are our wonderful volunteers.
Amanda, hello. Smells delicious.
Become a volunteer today and help us keep the wheels turning.
See you tomorrow, Chris.
Visit mealsonwheelssa.org.au for details.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
7 to 9, talking useless statistics to round out the program this morning after Geelong, Gold Coast, Carlton, West Coast all won on the same weekend for the first time in AFL history. Rob in Walkley Heights has got a useless stat for us. Morning, Rob.
Good morning. With Carlton changing coaches, I did a bit of research, and it seems the coach bounce is a myth. So since 1990, 42.7% of the time when there's a coach change, they have won the game.
So they actually are more likely to lose.
Well, but there is an uplift. So they were
Sure.
only winning, those teams were only winning 28% of the time, and when they change their coach, there is an uplift in win percentage to 42. So, but I don't think changing the coach weekly will win you a premiership.
Rob, that is brilliant. Magnificent work, Rob.
There's a whole bunch. What a variety on the text line. Here's one. Antelopes have 10 times our vision and can see the rings of Saturn. You're welcome.
That's the kind of stuff we're after.
Mark says towels get wetter. Hang on. The more they dry.
Bit of wordplay from there. So they're drying you, and in the process they're getting wetter.
Now, here's one for you, Rob. For you, Will, from Rob. LeBron James is the first player in NBA history with 27 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals and 2 blocks on a Tuesday after the All-Star break.
Is that true? I don't know.
Phil says, here's some, it's not a stat, but a useless piece of information, is the small groove between the bottom of the nose and the top lip is called the philtrum. Here's one from Dougie. Oh, the Victory Hotel. Of course, Doug Govan and Star of Grace. Star of Grace, they should get their little frame ready for a Michelin star. Don't you reckon?
Yeah, entirely possible.
And they deserve it. Ken Whelan for Sturt started out with number 31, then changed to number 9. Rory Sloane started out with number 31, then changed to number 9. 2 champions, giddy up, go Crows. And Dave, who I think is a Port supporter.
Yeah, I was going to read Dave's out.
Do you want to do it? I don't want to read those statistics. Have you got it there?
I've got it here. He says it's been 10,097 days since the Crows' last premiership, or in other words, 27 years, 7 months, 23 days, or 1,442 weekends and 3 days, or 242,328 hours. Have a fantastic day, says Dave.
That reminds me
Who's counting?
One of my favourite tweets of all time when during COVID, Kane Corns wrote a tweet saying, "What does everyone keep talking about exponential growth? What does that mean?" And someone wrote back to him going, "Well, remember, Kane, how in the 2007 grand final you were down by 17 points at quarter time?"
Cruel.
I just had to say that, Dave, to even up the ledger. Webby says, Professor Spurrier is lucky that Mally's removing all these trees from the bike paths to make them safer. There we go. Just wanted to dangle out there for the Parklands Association people. All right. They've had a bad 24 hours, haven't they?
They have. We could have put them in the jury.
Yeah.
Mind you, we did them last week. I feel like it would have been a bit of a double up. Let's have a look at the fuel situation. Better to be a member with RAA Road Service. The cheap spots, the Liberty at Port Adelaide is at $1.67.5. The Yugo Elizabeth Vale is at $1.67.9. The cheapest diesel is at the United at Elizabeth South. That one's at $2.15.9.
We're out of time.
Enjoy your Tuesday.
Hey, that's my line.
We'll be back tomorrow.